In the mobile game Ingress, if you've got a bunch of portals and you try to make as many fields as possible, well, there's lots of ways to do that. Usually when you're done, you'll see that different parts of your play area have different numbers of fields, different numbers of layers, as you can see here. However, if you've got just the right arrangement of portals, and you link them together in just the right way, you can sometimes get a pure uniform color all the way through your fielding area. This is what we call a homogeneous field, or maybe homogeneous field. There's actually two words here, homogeneous, homogeneous. They mean exactly the same thing. I guess in this video I'll just flip back and forth between them or something, or use what I'm used to. Anyway, homogeneous fields. Everyone's made one. Here's an example of a single layer, a one-layer homogeneous field. If you add a portal in the middle and then split that carefully, you get two layers throughout the whole area. You've probably made one of them too. If you split each of these smaller triangles with yet another portal, you will get a three-layer field. And then, if you split each of these 9 portals, you can get a 4-layer field. Now, to make a 4-layer homogeneous field, you'll need at least 7 outgoing links from one of your 3 anchors. So for a long time, this was the best anybody could do, until... Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. That's right. A 4-layer field takes 7 outgoing links. It's easier if you have a softbank. But a 5-layer field, you're going to need a softbank no matter how careful you are, because you just need so many outgoing links from your final anchor portal. There's a 5-layer field. A 6-layer field, you'll need at least 3 softbanks, and it's much easier if you put 4 on. Here we go. And now that's the most layers you can actually make in a homogeneous field. A 7-layer field would need at least 7 softbanks. So nobody's going to make one of them. Gosh, that's a lot of AP. Look at that. And because they're such beautiful things, I decided to make a video series on homogeneous fields. They're fantastic for use in field art, and they're fantastically beautiful things all by themselves. So this is part 1, what they are. Part 2 is the basic how-to of a homogeneous field, how to choose your portals, how to choose your links and your link order. And then in part 3 of this video series, I'm going to talk about a particular op we did in Perth, Western Australia, to make a 6-layer field and what we learned from that. First of all, I'll give you a bit of a better idea on what's involved here. So a 1-layer field, you know what a 1-layer field is. It's just got those 3 portals and 3 links. A 2-layer field has 6 links for 4 portals, and then things start to multiply exponentially. A 4-layer field has 42 links, a 5-layer 123, and a 6-layer has 300, about as many links and fields as there are days of the year. The complexity multiplies by 3 every time you add another layer. A challenge people like to set themselves is this. Look at this guy he's making a 3-layer homogeneous field here. And you'll see he's not going to use all the portals that are on the play area. He's going to leave some uncaptured, not involved in his field. So, I mean, that's great. He'll make a beautiful set of fields there. But some people like to set themselves the challenge. Can you make a homogeneous field that uses every single portal available? Well, let's talk about how difficult that is. 2 layers, well, it's pretty trivial. You find 3 portals in a triangle, 1 portal in the middle, and you've got your 2-layer field. For a 3-layer field, the 4 portals inside have to be in just the right positions. It's not guaranteed you'll be able to make a homogeneous field with just 4 randomly placed portals in the triangle. In fact, your chances are about 40%. To make a 4-layer field, you need that central splitter there, and then the other 12 portals in 3 groups that each can form a 3-layer field. So the chances are even less then if you're relying on random chance. There's only about a 1 in 100 chance you'll be able to make a 4-layer field if you've got exactly 13 portals inside your triangle. So you're going to have to search carefully to find the right place to make a 4-layer pure homogeneous field. For 5 layers, the chances are even smaller. That central splitter is there, and then each of your 13 portals in the smaller triangles has to have that 1 in 100 chance. Your chances are only about 1 in a million then. And yet, it's been done. I'm not sure how they found the place to do it, but they certainly didn't rely on luck. For a 6-layer field, I've got bad news. You've got your central splitter. Each of those groups of 40 around that have to have that 1 in a million chance. And you're looking at, there probably isn't an arrangement of portals like this anywhere in the world which have 121 portals inside a triangle and you can make it into a 6-layer field. If anyone does it, it will be through a whole lot of portal submissions very carefully planned. So finally, I just want to close with some heat maps. If you do manage to make a pure homogeneous field, where are the portals? Where are the interior portals? This is a heat map of where they're most likely to be. This is for a 4-layer field, and you can see the portals tend to be bunched up on the edges with some towards the middle as well. And that's even more pronounced when you move on to a 5-layer or even a 6-layer field. So if you're planning a homogeneous field, especially if you're planning a pure one, it probably pays to look for, say, a main road running along one edge of your plan. Anyway, that's about all I've got for part 1 of this 3-part series on homogeneous fields. Thanks very much for watching. This is Agent 57 Cell signing off. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks very much. Hi, this is Ingress Agent 57 Cell, and in this video I'd like to teach you how to plan the links and fields for a homogeneous field. What a homogeneous field is, it's a beautifully complex and intricate set of fields where every part of your fielding area ends up with exactly the same number of layers. This is actually part 2 of a 3-part series on homogeneous fields. Part 1 tells you a bit about what they are, why they're worth doing, and where the portals might end up being when you make one. In part 3, I'm going to tell you about a particular 6-layer homogeneous fielding op we did in Perth, Western Australia, and all the different lessons we learned from that. But for now, let's see how to choose the links and fields for your homogeneous field. First of all, find an area of your city where there are a lot of portals and choose 3 of them that make a great big triangle. That's going to be the first layer of your homogeneous field. Then you'll want to choose a portal somewhere in the middle of that splits that big field into 3, sharing the portals inside more or less evenly. That would be your plan for a 2-layer field. For a 3-layer field, you find a splitter for each of those 3 smaller fields. Again, try to share the portals evenly between each of those triangles. Then, for a 4-layer field, you split each of those 9 triangles once again. And so on for as many layers as you like. In this plan, that's the best we can do because one of those triangles has got no portals inside. If I wanted more layers, I'd have to start again, I'm afraid. So that gives you your link plan, the links that you need to make for the field. The next thing you need to figure out is what order do you make those links in? Where do you send your agents to capture and link? The good news is, because this is a maximum fielding plan, you can use the method that I explained in another of my videos on general maximum fielding in Ingress. The way that method works is you imagine some wave of color sweeping across your plan. Every time that wave hits a portal, you capture it and then link back to every portal you've already captured, making bigger triangles first whenever you've got a choice. Always making the biggest triangles first. And depending on the shape of your wave of color, that will give you a different linking plan, but each possible linking plan will give the same maximum fielding, the same homogeneous fielding. So here, this wave of color sweeping down from the top, and you can see every time the agents reach a portal, they capture it, and then they link back to all the portals they've already captured, making sure they make the big triangles first. Here's another example. In this one, the wave of influence is sweeping out from the middle towards the east and the west. And again, every time it reaches a portal, the agent captures that portal, links back to all the other ones, making big triangles first. Here's another example. You can see another triangular shaped wave of color sweeping out. No matter what shape wave you imagine, you'll end up with the same set of links and fields, although the actual link order could be completely different. Here's another example where the wave of color is sweeping up from the bottom of the field and, hey, what are you guys doing? Hey, stop that, you guys! I'm so sorry, that wasn't supposed to happen. Let's have a look at some real examples of linking plans by real teams who made real homogeneous fields. This is the world's first ever 6-layer homogeneous field in Tokyo. You can see they made a really complicated structure in the middle and then filled in the final layers from the 3 corners of the field. Here's a second go, the second homogeneous field ever made, also in Tokyo. They started with a null field, and then they built the layers within the 3 null triangles there, finally filling in the 6 layers. This is the third 6-layer homogeneous field ever made in Perth, Western Australia. We used a completely different plan here. You can see we started from one edge and built out towards the final anchor. And I want to explain this method to you in a bit more detail. If you want to make a 1-layer field, that's easy, right? You make a link, then you join a third portal to each of the 2 anchors. To make a 2-layer homogeneous field, you start with a 1-layer field, then you find another portal and link that back to the 2 original anchors and then to the top of the 1-layer field. Suppose you want 3 layers. Well, you start with a 2-layer field, then build a single layer field on each of those edges of it. Then you find your top anchor portal, link to the side anchors, then the peak of the 2-layer field, and then the peaks of the 1-layer fields. And this pattern continues. If you want a 4-layer field, make a 3-layer field first. Then build 2-layer fields on the edges of it. Then 1-layer fields on the edges of the 2-layer fields. Then you move to your top anchor and you connect it to the 2 side anchors, then the top of the 3-layer field, then the tops of the 2-layer fields, then the tops of the 1-layer fields, and you've got a 4-layer field. Are you getting the idea now? If you want a 5-layer field, start with a 4-layer. Build 3-layer fields on those 2 top edges. Build 2-layer fields on the top edges of those 3-layer fields. Then build lots of little tiny 1-layer fields on the edges of those 2-layer fields. And then you move to your top portal and connect everything together to that, making the big triangles first. So the anchors first, then the peak of the 4-layer, the peaks of the 3, then the 2, then finally the peaks of those 1-layer fields. And so on for a 6-layer field. Make a 5-layer field first, 4-layer fields on the edges, 3-layer fields on the edges of those, 2-layer fields on the edges of the 3 layers, single-layer fields on the edges of the 2-layer fields. Then you hit your anchor portal, put lots and lots and lots of soft banks on it, and then link back to make your huge big field and then all of your smaller fields. Always do the big triangles first. Anyway, that's about all for me on making your link plan for a homogeneous field. Stay tuned for part 3 where I'll talk about the Perth operation we did and what we learned from that so that your homogeneous fielding op can be a great success. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for watching it, and remember you can look through my channel to see my other Ingress fielding videos. This is Agent 57 Cell signing out. Hi, this is Ingress Agent 57 Cell, and I'd like to welcome you to part 3 of my 3-part video series on homogeneous fields or homogeneous fields. Now, part 1 was about what a homogeneous field is, why they're such incredibly amazing pieces of field art, if you like, and it's just some basic information about what they are. Part 2 was more about how to make them, how to choose which links you need to do, what order you need to do them, and so forth. So part 2 is the how of homogeneous fielding. Part 3, this part, well, if you've ever done an Ingress op, you know that a good link plan is just the beginning. So this part 3, is I want to talk about a particular operation we did in Perth, Western Australia in late 2017. A 6-layer homogeneous fielding operation. And I'll share a bit about what we learned, what mistakes were made, what went right, and hopefully you can learn from our experience and use that to put your own fielding operation together. So, but first a bit of background. 2017 saw the announcement of the XO5 anomaly series, and Perth, Western Australia, was one of the host cities. So on the resistance side, one of the people in charge, they asked me if I could put together a simple operation to get some of the agents familiar with the anomaly zone. So I looked up homogeneous fielding and I thought, yeah, that looks simple enough. And then I designed a link plan and thought, yeah, we can do this. It'll be easy.
It'll be easy, like breaking a toothpick.
Show me.
Well, the first lesson I learned about 6-layer homogeneous fields is don't underestimate the task. A 6-layer homogeneous field has as many links and portals as a 120-layer herringbone. And the links have to be made. The links have to be made exactly right. You can't skip any. You can't add any extra links. It has to be done exactly right. We had a dozen agents collect over 600 keys for the 124 portals in the operation. This had to be done within a month in the anomaly zone before an anomaly.
So the keys had to be found quietly. We used as few mods as possible. So finally, and the keys had to be collected and sorted into the keys needed for each team. And there were no room for mistakes there. There wouldn't be time on the day for a team to go running around looking for extra keys. So we had to get that right. Finally, on Saturday, November the 4th, at 7 o'clock in the morning, 5 ground teams rolled out, guided by 4 intel operators. And then this happened. That's right. We didn't get it done. We packed up our scanners, gathered at a local cafe, and decided to try again. That gave us 1 week to replace the 270 plus keys that we'd used, to sort them all over again, to distribute them again. We had to do this farming even more quietly now because we just demonstrated to the enlightened that we might be trying something. The teams had to be reorganised on short notice because some of the people couldn't make it the second time round. But everything was in place, and then on Sunday, the 12th of November, the teams rolled out again at 6 o'clock in the morning this time, and this happened. We did it. We did it. So we tried twice, we failed once, we succeeded once. 50% is not bad. I found out later that our 6-layer homogeneous field, it's only the 3rd ever made. It's the first outside Tokyo for that. And we did it with the smallest ever team that's tried this kind of field in an anomaly zone before the anomaly. This is complete madness. Don't underestimate the task. These kinds of fields, as I said, they are not easy to do. So why did it work? I mean, besides the fact that the people on our team were all just amazing people, fantastic people, why did it work? I don't really know why we managed to pull this off. I can tell you my perspective. The second lesson is, if you want to do a complex ingress operation like this one, where everything has to go exactly right, be completely paranoid. I was completely paranoid that something would go wrong, and I kept involuntarily racking my brains to think of what that might be, and then putting something in place to prevent that problem. I ended up with spreadsheets everywhere, spreadsheets to track the keys that were being collected, spreadsheets to count the number of keys based on the link plan, which was also in the spreadsheet. The link plans are in the spreadsheet. And the spreadsheet would count how many keys each team needed, how many keys still needed to be collected, and which portals were the highest priority. On the day itself, the spreadsheets, the intel operators would update the spreadsheet every time a portal was linked, and other spreadsheets would then update saying whether a particular team could progress, eliminating as much human error as possible. I did trial runs on Intel, following the spreadsheets, checking them, modified the plan to make sure, to cut down the time it would take, to make sure teams didn't have to run too far. And then doing trial runs again. Please don't ask me how many hours I spent on the plan, because I really don't want to know. Eventually I ran out of things to worry about, and so for about a week I was just a general nervous wreck. If you can get away without the nervous wreck part, but keep the complete paranoid part, then you'll get one of these done, I believe it. Mainly though, the success was because the agents involved as I said, fantastic people. They really got behind the plan. They got excited by it. They as much as possible, they knew what the plan was about. And by the second run through the plan, by our second try, they could pretty much do their part of the plan themselves, almost without guidance from Intel. So on each attempt we made, there was a 10-minute delay at the start because of technical problems. On each attempt, one of the teams made a bad link and had to fix it up with a Jarvis virus and run and get the key, get a replacement key. And we managed to do it. I just want to close this video with some challenges. So, first challenge, will your city be the first city where resistance and enlightened both make one of these simultaneously, one of these 6-layer fields? So your city has 2 6-layer fields at the same time of 2 different colours. Or, if some places cross-faction relations are not so great. So if you're on the enlightened team, will your city be the first city to have a green 6-layer homogeneous field? And if you're on the resistance, will the resistance get 5 of these done before the enlightened get 1? And that's about all I've got to say for this video. So thanks very much for watching. And this is Agent 57 Cell signing out.
About 3 months ago, I uploaded my video series on homogeneous fielding, where I explained what they are, how to make them, and that the 6-layer field is the most complex and biggest that you can make. Almost as soon as I uploaded those videos, I discovered that everything I knew about how many had been done was wrong. In this video, I want to set the record straight and show you all of the 6-layer homogeneous fielding operations I've been able to find sitreps for. Let's go to Ginza, Tokyo. On the 13th of March 2016, a group of 48 agents in Tokyo rolled out and they made the very first ever 6-layer homogeneous field. They got this done on their 3rd try. Fantastic effort. The next one, only 2 months later, happened in Shinjuku, also in Tokyo. This was done by making 3 4-layer fields inside null fields, and then they broke the corners of those and then filled in the 2 missing layers. It was then 10 months later, almost on the anniversary of the first 6-layer field in Ginza, on the other side of Japan in Kenrokuen, Ishikawa, 60 agents rolled out, again using the null fields method that had been used for the second field. Whatever that is, it looks delicious. Then the first 6-layer field outside Japan was made in Guangzhou in China in May 2017. This, incredibly, was an almost solo effort. One agent, a single agent, did all of the links and fields in about 8.5 hours. They had some support from other agents to clear blockers and place a couple of soft banks. Then about 2 months later, it's back to Japan, just south of Tokyo, in a town called Nishaiaisu. The Japanese team there, 29 agents, made a huge 6-layer field covering over 15 square kilometers. Fantastic work. Then the first 6-layer homogeneous field outside Asia took place in Northbridge in Western Australia. This is the one I talked about in my previous video on homogeneous fielding. You can check that out. Just have a look at the other videos in my channel. And then we're back to Ginza, Tokyo again. My eyes popped out of my head when I saw this. It's goes way beyond a 6-layer homogeneous field. The agents there, a group of 89 agents, rolled out in the middle of the night, in the middle of winter, to build a 7-layer structure with only 6 layers, because you can't get 7 layers. But they had 1,095 links, 1,090 fields on 367 portals. Absolutely incredible. They didn't put Tabasco sauce on that sundae, did they? 6 months after that incredible effort was the first European 6-layer field in Würzburg, Germany on the 5th of August 2018 by a team of 9 agents. After that, these things started appearing thick and fast all over Europe. Only 29 days after the Würzburg effort, a team of 2 agents in Bulgaria made a 6-layer field over a span of 5 hours on the 5th of August. Let's have a look at this little animation they made of it. Less than 3 weeks later, on the 23rd of September, it's off to Lipki in Kiev, in the Ukraine, where we have the very first enlightened 6-layer homogeneous field. Congratulations, guys! Witayemo prosvitlennoho Kieva. This was their 3rd try, so bravo for persistence. You really do have to be prepared to try more than once if you want to make one of these. The next month, on the 27th of October, 17 agents from the resistance in Nuremberg in Germany completed the 2nd German 6-layer homogeneous field. This is the very first one with Ingress Prime screenshots. Just look at that.
My God, it's full of stars.
Only 1 week later, there was another German 6-layer homogeneous field made by the Berlin resistance. With these 6-layer fields appearing so thick and fast, the list in this video will probably be out of date before I've even uploaded the video. Wouldn't surprise me. Planning and executing a 6-layer field is a real challenge. It will really test the mettle of your team. It's the pinnacle of precision fielding, unless, of course, you're in Japan. They seem to make it look really, really easy. Fantastic work, everybody involved in these operations, and I hope I can see more. Thanks for watching this video. Hello, this is Ingress Agent 57 Cell. Now, if you've watched the videos on my channel, you'll know what a homogeneous field is. It's this amazingly complex, fractally structured field where at every single part of the field there's the same number of layers. And you'll also have learned that crossed links in Ingress are possible from my most recent video before this one, where I described how to do cross links and our little operation, our field out operation, Ops Marshmallow Man. In this video, I want to show you how crosslinks and homogeneous fields, crosslinks really are a game changer for homogeneous fields. You watch this. There's a pair of crosslinks there, and from that you can make a 3-layer homogeneous field which normally needs 7 portals. You can make it using only 5 portals. This is not just theoretical. We've actually done this. This little field was made by agents Octarine and myself a month or 2 ago, maybe 3 months. So you can see that structure there, that 3-layer structure with only 2 internal portals. And if you can make a triple crosslink, you can go one better, a 4-layer field with only 6 portals. Watch how this is done. First, you make a triple crosslink, like that, with an arrangement of portals like so. Then you complete the outer field. Once you've got that, you make the backlinks to those interior portals in any order you like. And you've got a 4-layer field with only 6 portals instead of the usual 16 that it would normally take. Again, this is not just theoretical. We managed to do this just last weekend with an operation we called Ops City Kitty. Just have a look at it. We had 2 4-layer fields for the ears of the cat and then some nice artwork to fill it up. You can really see clearly the homogeneous structure in Ingress Prime. Thanks and congratulations to this amazing group of agents. You always blow my mind. If you want to read the full report of Ops City Kitty, you can do so at this QR code. Just follow that with your phone and you'll see it. And in theory, you don't have to stop there either. With 4 internal portals, this will be much harder to do. It hasn't been attempted yet. Maybe you can be the first. Make those 4 crosslinks and then another pair of crosslinks. And then you're ready to make those 2 edges on the side to complete those 2 fields. And finally, the large field by filling in the bottom base link. And then make the back links to the interior portals in any order you like, and you'll have a 5-layer field using only 7 portals. A 6-layer field's also possible. 6-layer fields are incredibly complicated structures on 124 portals. In theory, you can do it with a quintuple crosslink and then 2 pairs of crosslinks. Now all those crosslinks have to work. You can, if any one of them fails, you'll have to restart the whole thing. But you make them in the order shown here. In theory, you get your 6-layer field. 6-layer fields are really challenging. This is probably not the easiest way to do it. But what about a 7-layer field? 7-layer fields are not supposed to be even theoretically possible. And yet, with a 6-way crosslink and then 3 normal crosslinks, you can get 7 layers. Now, crosslinks are really hard. I would be stunned if anybody managed to get a 7-layer field like that. But if you can make crosslinks easy, 7 is just scratching the surface. Have a look at this beautiful structure here. You could get up to, say, 43 layers or round about there before you start hitting limits on your outgoing links. Anyway, that's just what I wanted to show you about how crosslinks completely transform the world of homogeneous fielding. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe. I've got another homogeneous fielding video coming up soon. This is Ingress Agent 57Cell signing out. Thanks for watching. Welcome to my second video on how crossing links in Ingress completely changes the world of homogeneous fielding. If you don't know how to cross links in Ingress, check out my channel. There's a video right there on how to do it. Now, with homogeneous fielding, it's this intricate structure with the same number of layers throughout the whole fielding area. Now, it turns out with homogeneous fielding, the maximum number of layers you can make is just 6, because to make a 7-layer field, you would need 61 outgoing links from one of the corner portals. But if you can cross links, that's no longer true, and 7-layer fields are possible. Another long-standing challenge with homogeneous fields is to make one where every single portal in the big triangle gets used. Now, this has been done with 5 layers, but with 6 layers it seems to be impossible. Impossible, that is, unless you can cross links. Let me just show you a clip from the previous video on this topic, and you can see how a 3-layer field can be made using crosslinks using far fewer portals than before. Here's another example where we make a 4-layer field using only 6 portals instead of 16. This is not the most efficient way to make 4 layers with crosslinks, but we're going to need it for what comes next. Here I want to show you a practical but very difficult plan to make a 7-layer homogeneous field. You start by making a 6-layer field, and you can see these strawberry faction agents doing that right now. So once the 6-layer field is built, then you can build some 5-layer fields off the edges of those and so forth until you're ready Oh, look, some of the other agents have come to have a look. There's Resistance, Enlightened, and the Yogurt faction too. And what? Strawberry, Yogurt's on your anchor portal. Oh, please, please don't. Talk to him, guys. Talk to him. Oh, thank goodness for that. All right. Sorry about that interruption. Now, back to the plan. You can see what's going to happen here. Instead of the traditional 4-layer structure, we build these quadruple cross-link 4-layer structures. And if you replace 6 of the 8 4-layer fields at the top with these cross-link structures, that's a huge task. 6 sets of 4 cross-links is going to be a real challenge. But if you can do it, then you build up all these 4-layer fields, and finally you're ready to throw from the top anchor. You will still need to make the side links from the baseline. You won't be able to throw from the top to the bottom base anchor portals. So in goes the big field. Now count the outgoing links with me. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Counting? You counting? 9, 10. There's 39 there. You counted them, right? 39 outgoing links. You can do that with 4 softbanks, and you've got your 7-layer field. That would be incredible. Please tell me if you do this. I'd really, really want to see it. Let's look now at the problem of getting a pure homogeneous field with no unused portals. That's pretty easy for 2 layers and not too hard for 3 either. With 4 layers, if you've got 13 portals within your triangle, there's only about a 1 in 7 chance that one of those can be used to split the rest evenly, and then each of those has got a 2 in 5 chance of making a 3-layer field. For a 5-layer field, your chances are much smaller. That's less than 1 in a million chance that a random arrangement of portals you can make it into a 5-layer field. With a 6-layer field, the probability that I worked out is pretty small. Let's see exactly why that is. If you want to make a traditional 6-layer structure with no spare portals, you need 121 portals inside your big triangle. You have to be able to find one in there that splits the rest into 3 perfectly equal proportions. And then for each of those sets of 40 portals, there has to be one in there that splits the other 39 into an even 13 each. The chances at each step of being able to do this, they get smaller and smaller and smaller. And that's why it's pretty much impossible to find a pure traditional 6-layer field. It's basically because the homogeneous structure is so rigidly defined, you have no choice about how to build it, at least until you can do crossed links. So with cross links, you've suddenly got another way to build a 3-layer field. And what that means is you can replace some of the 3-layer fields in your traditional structure with these cross-linked 3-layer structures. And there's so many ways to do that. For example, if you're looking for a pure 6-layer structure, you no longer need exactly 121 portals inside, just some odd number less than that. And then you've got so much more choice about the portal you use to split them on, because the splits don't have to be even. They have to be even numbers, but they don't have to be equal. And so on, down through the layers, you've got much more flexibility about how you actually build your 6-layer structure. There's not just one structure anymore. There's a wide world of flexibility in how you build it. So you're almost certain to be able to find a pure 6-layer structure within your capital city somewhere. If you do make one, please show me. I would just love to see one of these being made. Thank you very much. This is 57 Cell signing out, and thanks for watching. In the game Ingress, there are many different ways to build a homogeneous field. In this video, I want to show you a method where you start from the innermost portals and you only capture the anchors at the very end. Here's how it works. Here's a very simple plan for a homogeneous field. You start by capturing the very, very deepest portal right there in the middle. Now, to add another layer, once you've captured those deepest portals, go to the next deepest out, capture that one, and then link that down to these small portals there. Once that's been done, you've got these little three-sided star-shaped things everywhere, all over your field. So come one layer up and capture those portals there in the middle and link them back to first the centers of those stars and then the edges of those stars to get these little weird butterfly-shaped things. Now, once that's been established, you go to the next portals out, the next most important portals, capture them, and again link back to the center of those weird butterflies, and then to the other portals. The deepest portals last. Link to the deepest portals last. Let's go one more layer out. Now this is the full 6-layer plan ready. That's the very center portal there. You capture it. You link back to those 3 structures on the side. Now, because of link limits, you have to link to the center portal from some of them. But basically, you've got this beautiful complex structure like that. And now you're ready to go to the corner portals and link back to all the other portals in this beautiful complex structure here. The most important portals, link to them first. The very deepest portals, the ones that are covered by the most layers, you link to them last. So that's the leftmost corner done. Now our agent's going to head over to the rightmost corner and link to the other corner first, then to the center, then to the next deepest, and then to so on down to the very deepest portals last. Finally, we're ready for the final anchor, and then the 6-layer field will be complete. So let's watch him do that. And there you have it. So again, linking to the corners first, then the center portal, and then the next deepest portals, and so forth. And this is, I've seen people build 6-layer fields using something like this pattern, but never exactly this pattern. Now let's see how this whole thing looks like, all zoomed out. Because there's so many deepest portals, you can have a lot of agents all working in parallel to capture them and then build the three pointed stars. Because the most critical portals get captured last, it doesn't matter so much if a casual opponent strolls across and captures part of your plan. You can patch that part, and not much damage has actually been done. And if you get your agents to the right portals at the right time, I would guess that each phase of this, each layer of this, each level of this might only take about 5, 10, 15 minutes. So if you want to get a homogeneous field, a 6-layer homogeneous field up really quickly, and you can bring a lot of agents to the field, this kind of pattern might be the way to go. So again, now we've just got one agent there. Of course, this job could be done by all the other agents who've gone off to the pub now. Instead, this poor fellow all alone is going around and capturing these 9 portals and linking back to the center one. He's done that now, and now he or she, and now they're going to complete the other links to the deeper portals, and so forth. And once those links are done, he can link again to the deeper still portals until all the portals he's supposed to link to from this center one have been done. When he's completed that, he's going to head off to the corner there at the southwest. Now, since you have so many agents on the field in the game already, you could have a team at each of the corners ready to throw the fields they need from there as soon as the previous one is done. So now the center's done. Someone from that left-hand corner can throw the necessary links first straight back to the center, then to the next deepest portals, then to the next deepest portals, finally linking to those most deeply buried portals. Back to the right-hand corner, he links to the first corner, then to the center, then to the next most critical portals, and so forth. The smaller and smaller fields being done at the end of this linking plan. Now the final team is there ready at the top portal, and they complete the big field, then they split it onto the center portal, and so forth. And you've got your 6-layer field built in this massively parallel manner. I think this particular way of building it is really quite beautiful. If you do build it like this, please make sure that I get to see the report. I'd love to see it. And all the best. This is Agent 57 Cell signing out. Thanks for watching. I'm Ingress Agent 57 Cell, and I'm off to make some fields. 364 fields, in fact, on 124 portals. The plan for that night was to make a solo 6-layer homogeneous field. The very first step in putting this together was to find a set of portals that it would be which would support a 6-layer structure, and where it would be easy for me to farm keys. So here's the plan that I put together. Here's the plan that I had. After that, I identified a route through that field that would visit every single portal once, and that I could ride my bike through in a reasonable amount of time. Once I had that route planned, I worked out the links linking from every portal to every previously visited portal, and then I tested that plan to see if it really would give the correct number of links and fields. So you can see the animation rolling along here. This animation is generated using the software I use to make these videos, and I wanted to see if it would report 364 fields, 366 links. The first time I tried this, it didn't, so I went back and made a different plan, this plan that you can see here right now. And that's actually the link order that I intended on that night. Now, strictly speaking, it's not possible to make a 6-layer homogeneous field solo. The reason is you need at least 3 softbanks on one portal, and a single agent can't do that, except during Ingress's anniversary events the previous 2 years. We've been able to put 4 mods on a portal, and so I thought, what if they do that this year as well on the 7th anniversary? I could make a true solo 6-layer field. Well, as it turned out, that wasn't to happen. So I did get help from a fellow agent, Agent EKG, to place 1 single softbank on one of these portals. Apart from that, everything else was solo. Key farming, the planning, clearing here. You can see I'm clearing the links here. I'm about to Jarvis a portal here. It's a level 8 portal. That's why you can see it on Intel. Now, I did note carefully the time. I was afraid I'd be back there within the hour and have to smash that portal rather than just flipping it back with an ADA. And there I'm about to make the very first link of the field. There it is. Now, since I've linked from that far corner to the top, that means I'll only need 32 outgoing links from the top, and that's why I'll only need 3 softbanks instead of 4. So here we are, and you can see I'm starting to riding along that road through Kings Park. Kings Park is this expansive bushland right near the city centre in Perth, Western Australia. And along that road is a whole bunch of war memorials. Literally there's portals every 20 or 30 metres. It's a very popular place to level up, which is why I'm out at 4:15 in the morning, as you can see on the clock right in the top left corner. Why get up at such a crazy time of day? Well, with 366 links to be made and 366 keys, I only get one shot at this. If someone comes and smashes it while it's in progress, I don't think I would have been able to collect all the keys again quickly enough to have another go in a reasonable amount of time. And it's not as crazy a time of day as it looks. It's almost summer here in Perth. That weekend we had the hottest November day on record. It reached over 40 degrees Celsius, nearly 105 Fahrenheit. And already at 4:41 the sky was starting to get bright.
30 in the morning. I've finished about a quarter of the plan so far. Specifically, I finished the little stretch of war memorials in Kings Park. You can see the sky's already getting light, starting to turn orange on the horizon over there. We've still got 3/4 of the plan to go, and I've got about a 800-meter ride to the next portal. Let's go.
As I said, Kings Park has a huge number of portals along those roads, in the playgrounds, and along the cycle paths. My plan only uses 2 more.
Park, one of which is the one that I jarvised earlier. And looking at the attack notification, that was about 70 minutes ago, so I can flip it back to blue now. I don't have to destroy a level 8 portal. That's great. It's about 450 in fact. You can see the sky's getting quite beautiful over there. Alright, let's carry on.
Alright, that was flipped back and some links were made from those portals. Then there's 2 portals right here at this place I am now, which will make a nice long field, and then it's off to the very far corner, the very furthest leftmost corner of this entire plan, and here I am.
The furthest corner of the field now, ready to make the base link, and I'm ready to use my first soft bank. This portal will need a soft bank because of the large number of outgoing links to all of those portals back in Kings Park. Let's do it.
And there we have it. The second long link of this field is done. The next part of the route takes me to a few portals near that lake you can see just in front of where I'm riding the bike.
Running here with the mist rising off the lake. That's just beautiful. There are advantages to getting up at 2:30 in the morning and being out and about at 5.
I didn't stop there long. There were 4 portals in the lake area that needed to be captured and linked back to previous portals, and then it was back amongst the suburbs, amongst the shops and offices for this milestone.
There. And that completes 1/3 of that's the first page of the plan all done. We are 33% of the way through, making a solo 6-layer homogeneous field. This is really exciting. The sun is not yet up. You can see it's really brightening the horizon over there. There, beautiful.
A 6-layer homogeneous field is pretty much exactly 3 times as complicated as a 5-layer field. But even though I finished 1/3 of the plan, I haven't finished a 5-layer field yet. 4 layers, yes. That's because, of course, there were other links and fields that I was making in the meantime because I arrived at those portals earlier. I'm about to get to the point where I will finish a 5-layer homogeneous field. It's just there, just about there. We're right there now.
I'm at the Subi Council Chambers. It's 5:45 and I'm ready to make all the links to complete a 5-layer homogeneous field. I'll need 2 soft banks on this portal. Let's do it now.
This whole thing started at 3:30 about, and it's now 5:45. That's over 2 hours already to finish a 5-layer field. That is longer than I expected it to take, but from now on things should go quicker because I'm entering the most portal dense part of this whole area, except for that row of portals in Kings Park. The plan takes me down Rockaby Road, which is the main shopping strip in Subiaco, and there's dozens of portals everywhere.
So it won't be long before I get to this point, this checkpoint. Past 6, and the plan is halfway complete. As I mentioned, there's 18 columns of portals and links that need to be done. I've done 9 of those 18 columns. It's fantastic. 6:07. Not sure what time I'll finish. Let's see how we go. So the first link went in at 3:45. 6:07, I reached the halfway point. That's 2 hours and 22 minutes for half of this plan. If it still takes the same amount of time to finish it, that's looking at finishing by 8:30. Since it's a Sunday morning, there probably won't be a lot of activity, so this is really looking quite good. Quite good for finishing this field, and that's fantastic. This part of the plan involves zigzagging backwards and forwards along these roads that cut Rockaby Road, collecting portals, linking back, and there you can see I've just finished a 4-layer field on the right hand side, and now on the left hand side as well. We've got 2 4-layer fields sitting on the edges of that 5-layer field. It's just a matter of following the plan now, doing every single link that I've recorded on my bit of paper, and then the thing will be done, the thing will be finished. That's about the furthest I have to go off to the right from this point on. The reason there's so many portals here is because Subiaco has a whole bunch of public artwork. There's murals in the laneway by local artists, there's sculptures, there's commemorative plaques all over the whole area commemorating the history of this town, which really does go back quite far to early on in the history of the entire city. So it's a great place it's a great place for playing, it's a great place for leveling up. It's just a great place to play this game. And I'm making really good time. It's 7:15 now, and you can see all these tiny thin fields pointing towards that top apex there, the apex of the big triangle. Little thin slivers of field that if you were just looking at your scanner you might not realize that they... Wait, what's that? Let me zoom in on Rockaby Road right there. Zoom in further, zoom in further. You can see on Rockaby Road there's a couple of links with no field inside. I've made a mistake, guys. If I can catch that mistake quickly, I can fix it. But the more I build of this field without fixing that mistake, the harder it's going to be to fix later. Hospital now, back at the very start of the place where I started this whole thing, ready to make the last 32 links for this entire plan and complete a 6-layer homogeneous field almost solo. I've done all the links, all the fields. The only help I got is a single soft bank placed on this single portal. So let's finish this. And just look at those links fly in. I'm getting a lot of MU here, but I have not fixed that mistake. This is not going to be a 6-layer homogeneous field, guys, unless I realize it quickly and I can actually find a way to fix it. I'm almost 8 o'clock. I'm back at the starting portal, the very first and last portal that I'm supposed to visit. And I made all the last links and realized I've missed one link earlier on. So I've had to Jarvis this portal here. I'm going to go back and fix that link, make that one missing link, collect the keys that I've lost, and come back here and hope I can get back here in time to actually finish the field before someone smashes something up. Wish me luck. I might need a bit more than luck. I had 4 hours sleep. I've been up since 2:30 in the morning. I've just realized that this entire plan has come crashing down around my shoulders. My brain really is not firing on all cylinders right now, and I keep making mistakes when trying to figure out what on earth I've done wrong. It took me a good half hour or so to finally see what I showed you earlier in this video, that there were these missing links, these empty links on Rockaby Road, and to finally figure out what links I had to make to actually patch it up.
An hour since I flipped the top portal, and I've only just figured out what my mistake was after 2 incorrect figurings out, in which have wasted a lot of Jarvis viruses. So it's still quite touch and go whether I'll actually finish this thing. Not looking good.
Not looking good at all, and I still have to collect keys from a bunch of portals scattered all over this part of Subiaco. Sure, I had a few spares in a capsule, but there's still a whole lot that I don't have that I used up making that first lot of links.
The mistake I made was I missed a link. I missed one of the links I was supposed to make from this portal right behind me here. Somehow I guess my eyes skipped over it. This is what happens when you're operating on 4 or 5 hours sleep. Now I've managed to patch everything back. I've got literally no Jarvis viruses left at all. I've got no room for mistakes. I still have to go back and get the keys that I've used up, get copies of them again. Anytime from about 25 minutes onwards, I'll be able to flip it back to blue and make all the links. I need to make sure I get those keys. Let's go.
Sure enough, it is fixed up. You can see the Rockaby Road is now blue. It's got a blue triangle there. So now what you'll see not much action on Intel, but a lot of riding my bike backwards and forwards, collecting keys.
Is short, and I've just realized the situation's a bit worse than I first said. I have to go back to there and flip that portal, but I can't make all the links I need to make from out of there because that's only got 3 softbanks, and to do all the links from there would need 33 links. I'm going to have to flip that portal, ride to one of the other anchors, link from there back to the hospital, and then come back to the hospital and finish the field. So that's going to be fun. Anyway.
There's also still quite a few keys to hack. Don't you love it when a portal that you need a key for does not give it to you, and you've just fully modded it with softbanks and ages? Well, ha. It wasn't that bad really. I knew I could get there again in plenty of time after flipping the Apex, which I've now done. I also linked the Apex to Shenton Park Community Centre, the bottom left portal. You can see that link's gone in, so that when I got to the bottom right portal, I would be making that big field again from there. So I'm still collecting keys. That's why you see my bicycle track is zigzagging everywhere still. Still not much action on Intel. But at this point, I've basically got all but one. This point right here is the second last key I needed, and I got it.
I expected to be finished ages ago. I've now got all of the keys except one that I need. I'm going to head straight to one of the anchors, throw the link to make the big field, and then get that one key on my way back to the top of this homogeneous 6-layer field, and then finish it. Here I go.
Here I go indeed. I have to make pretty good time on the bicycle now. By the time an attack notification comes in, the plan has failed. There's no way to defend this kind of thing against an attacker. So I'm nearly at things to do, and as soon as I get there, I'm going to make that link to close the big triangle and then rush back to the hospital. I've just completed the big triangle. It's ironic in a way that the portal that was supposed to be first ended up being second. It also ends up being third last. I'm rushing a bit here. I've already got comms messages from people on my own faction who happen to be on the other side of the world right now, saying that the fields are awesome, even though they aren't finished and the first round had a link missing. It's safe to say that there's people on both sides, enlightened and resistance, who've seen this partially completed work, and it's only a matter of time before somebody decides there's a lot
of relatively unprotected double AP floating around in Kings Park, which is, as I said earlier, the place people go to level up. So I really need to go and get that one last key and get back to the hospital as quickly as possible to finish off this 6-layer homogeneous field. One key left to get. I'm feeling a lot more confident about this than I was when I first discovered that I had made that mistake. I feel almost awake by now. So there's still that one key right there. That's where I got that key. And then it was waiting for traffic lights, making my way to the hospital. And finally, I can start to throw the remaining 31 links to complete a 6-layer homogeneous field. You can see the layers getting filled in there. Isn't that great? And so finally there it is, the finished product. Just a complete uniform 6 layers throughout the whole area. In total I made 429 fields. I planned 364, 404 links. The total AP I gained was almost 1.7 million AP thanks to double AP. The time taken was 6 hours and 22 minutes from the first blockers being cleared to the completion of the field. Should have been 4 and 22, so there's still room for people to get it done faster than this. And in the end, despite all my worry about people coming along and destroying it, the fields actually stayed up until the Monday morning. A total of almost 21.5 hours. This 6-layer homogeneous field was smack there in the middle of Subiaco. This is Agent 57 Cell. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and turn notifications on. See you next time.
Hello, Ingress Agent 57 Cell here, and welcome to this video on co-located portals or doubled portals, portals that are in exactly the same place. Now these are not very common. There's not a good chance you have one in your city. There's a decent chance there is one in your country. If you have a pair of portals like this, links into one of them do not block links into the other, which opens the door for some incredible pieces of art. The first video I made on this topic was about Operation Teal Star, where we had about 400 links, green and blue, coming in from all directions. A few months later, a team from Finland did this incredible tribute to a local agent who had passed away. Just look at that, it's beautiful. Doubled portals like this open the door for some amazing cross-faction cooperation. Actually, can we get more than just 2 factions? Maybe not quite that many. Yes, yeah, that's good. Okay. So you can do some amazing cross-faction stuff. For this video I'm mostly focusing on what you can do with one faction, what one faction can do with a doubled portal. And to help me show you some of this, I've changed my animation software so that I can show the doubled portals in different places on the screen, even though they are actually in the same location. So have a look at this. In many of the clips coming up, there'll be 2 portals that look like they're right near each other, but they're actually in the same place. I've done it that way so you can see what's going on with the linking. So keep that in mind. I'll remind you again and again anyway. I'm mostly going to be talking about homogeneous fielding, in fact. Now, to help you find double portals, I've made an IITC plugin that highlights double portals with a white circle. The ones in Perth have been moved, unfortunately, which is why you can see that text as well in the screenshot. You can get the plugin by following the URL in this QR code. So pause the video, get your QR code scanner, and get the plugin. Alright, now without further ado, let's see how you can make homogeneous fields if you have a doubled portal. So here we've got an agent, he's got 2 portals there which is just linked together, and up there he has a double portal. This agent has a double portal. If you link one of those portals to the first 2, you get a field. If you link the other one to the same 2 portals, you actually get 2 overlapping fields, as you can see here. 2 fields which look exactly the same, have exactly the same size and shape. And that's not just in theory. My previous video on Operation Teal Star has some footage showing me doing exactly that. Now, if there's a portal in the middle of these 2, you can actually make a 3-layer field. First, make that triangle there, then head to the anchor where the double portal is, and if you link both of those portals, now there's 2 big fields, and the bottom triangle has 3 layers. If you connect one of the double portals to the middle portal, you get 3 layers everywhere. Don't connect both. If you just want 3 layers, just connect one of them, and you've got a uniform 3-layer field. If you did connect both of the double portals to the middle one, you'd actually have 4 layers on those wings. To get 4 layers in the base as well, we can make a 2-layer field in the base. And that's what this agent, this cream tangerine agent, is doing now. So there we have a traditional 2-layer structure, and this one's just come to say hello, I guess. Anyway, or maybe he's guarding the portal. So anyway, now the first agent's gone to the double portal, makes 2 layers, so now there are 4 layers at the bottom, and by making those backlinks to the middle portal, you have a homogeneous 4-layer field on such a tiny handful of portals. A 4-layer homogeneous field would normally take 16 portals. It's been done in 6 here. Having a double portal lets you make many more layers than you normally would. It's like being able to do reliably huge numbers of crossed links coming out of one particular place. So now to make a 5-layer field, we start with a 3-layer traditional field. Maybe you can see the pattern here. 3 layers on this base triangle gives you 5 overall. We build a 1-layer field on each edge of that, and then from the double portal at the top, first make the 2 layers covering the whole thing, link both of those portals back to the middle, and now just make 1 link each to each of those inside portals there, and you've got a uniform 5 layers throughout. It doesn't actually matter which of the top portals you link to the deep interior portals like that. You'll still get the same number of layers whichever way you do it. Maybe you can see the pattern now. To make a 6-layer field, you start by making a 4-layer field at the base. So that's what these agents are doing right now. And when the 4-layer field is complete, as you can see there, then you build 2-layer fields on each of the edges there. So they're going to do that now. There's these agents from the teal faction, it looks like. So there, now we've got 2-layer fields on each of the sides of the base 4-layer field. Then, going to the double portal, what's going to happen is when they cover the whole thing, there'll be 6 layers at the bottom. Those 2-layer fields now have 4 layers. That splitter gives them 5 each. Another splitter gives them 6 each. So you've got 2 splitters from the double portals. And then finally, to fill in the 6 layers, you make all the other links to those interior portals. And that's how you can make a 6-layer field if you have a doubled portal. Only 62 links instead of 366. Isn't that incredible? Another incredible thing is, because you need so few links coming out of the double portals, out of each double portal, you can go beyond the usual maximum 6 layers. These agents from the Lemon faction are right now building a 5-layer field. They've just finished that. There's a 5-layer traditional homogeneous fielding structure with 123 links. Now they're going to build a 3-layer field on each edge of that, and then a 1-layer field on each edge of those 3-layer fields, which they've now done. And then, if they go to the double portal, they can link back to all of the other portals, big triangles first, linking back from both of the double portals, except for the deepest interior portals. You only link back from one of the doubled portals. And now we've got a 7-layer homogeneous field with 173 links and fields. You may be wondering whether this is all just theory. I can assure you it is not. This actually does work. Here you can see a recording of a group of Czech agents making a 7-layer field in a town called Radeberg in Germany. They made this 7-layer field back in December 2019, and the reason you're only hearing about it now is they kept their mouths very shut for a very good reason, which you will see later in this video. So there you have it, a 7-layer field by a group of 4 agents on the ground in one car, directed by an Intel operator in the Czech Republic. There they are. A way to go, guys. That was absolutely incredible. I'm going to put a link to their report in the description of this video, so have a look down there. To make a 7-layer field using those double portals, you started with a 5-layer field. If you start with a 6-layer field, a standard 6-layer homogeneous field, as these agents are doing here, well, guess what? You can turn that into an 8-layer field. Now, on the sides of the 6-layer field, the agents are now building 4-layer fields. So have a look at how they do that. So, and when those 4-layer fields are done, there you see it. on each of those edges of the 4-layer fields, they build a 2-layer field. So now they're completing that. And finally, when all of those little fields are in place, then the agents can head to the double portal and make all possible links back to the exposed portals on that complicated structure they've made there. Both of the double portals link to each of the exposed portals in the correct order. Big triangles first, and you end up with an 8-layer field. Let's see that again. This time just looking at the fields. I've switched off links and portals in this animation so you can see just the fields go up and see that complex structure. Isn't that beautiful? The 6-layer field itself is actually the most complicated part of this. It's definitely more than half the work needed to make the full 8 layers. And here we go, they're nearly ready to complete it. And there we go, and now they're going to head to the double portal and just look at those layers go in. Isn't that beautiful? And look, the most exciting thing about this, have a look. By making the 8-layer field, they've made 490 fields with only 486 links. And what that means is you can get your field link ratio up to 1 just by making this 8-layer field over and over and over again. Isn't that amazing? Again, this is not just theoretical. Now, the reason the earlier operation was kept top secret even after successful completion is they wanted to not draw attention to the double portal in Radeberg so that they could make this 8-layer field in mid to late January. So a large group of German and Czech agents rolled out across the countryside in the middle of the night. And to make this 8-layer field, you can see the 6-layer field is there, done in this animation. And now they're building the 4-layer fields on top of, on the edges of that. There we go, they're starting to appear now. Then the 2-layer fields, and finally when those wings are complete, they will go to the double portals in Radeberg. You can already see some links to them. And there we go, there's the 8-layer field completed. A world record by this amazing group of people. A lot of people, as you can see. When their report is available, I'll make sure there's a link to it in the description of this video. So check down in the description if you want to read more about how on earth they did this. Now, you don't even have to stop there. I've shown in other videos how you could make a 7-layer field using crosslinks. If you have a double portal, you could turn that 7-layer field into a 9-layer field. But just imagine what you could do if you had more than one set of doubled portals. With a single double portal, you can make 8 layers, but it takes 486 links. If you had 3 sets of double portals, I'm thinking you'd get 8 layers just straight out of the box by linking them all together. And that's just the beginning of what you could do. Just imagine what you could do if you brought other portals in as well. You might be laughing at this stage thinking, where on earth would there possibly be 3 sets of double portals? I mean, there are whole countries that don't have a single double portal, and now you want 3 right near each other? When I made my plugin, one of the first places I looked was Tokyo. And this is what I saw in Tokyo. Not 3, but 4 sets of doubled portals. These are all Lawson's portals. They were created when Niantic signed an agreement with Lawson's to have a whole bunch of portals and Lawson's power cubes and so forth. Unfortunately, at about the time our Lawson's cubes turned into hypercubes, I guess that's when the contract ended between Niantic and Lawson's, and all of those portals, including all of those double portals, they just vanished. I'm so sorry, Japan. I don't know if you've got double portals. Get the plugin and look. Anyone watching this, you get the plugin that I've provided and have a look near you for some double portals. And if you find one, if you find some double portals near you, do something amazing with them. Do some incredible cross-faction artwork or something amazing, complicated, layered fields. Let your creativity run wild. I really do want to see what you guys come up with. That's about all I have for this video. This is Agent 57 Cell signing out. Don't forget to subscribe, to switch on notifications, and thanks so much for watching. I just love seeing what people do with these videos. Thank you. Hello, Ingress Agent 57 Cell here, and in this video I want to teach you how you can find an arrangement of portals that gives you a pure homogeneous field. Now, if you don't know what a homogeneous field is, see my other videos on the topic, but basically a pure set of homogeneous fields means you've got the same number of layers everywhere in your fielded zone, and you've used every single portal there. There's not a single spare portal that you didn't use. So these can be quite tough to find. You can see this agent here from the pinkish red faction. They've found a set of portals that make a 3-layer homogeneous field, but not a pure one. There's extra portals they had to ignore. If you want to make a 3-layer homogeneous field, it's pretty easy. Find a triangle with 4 portals inside, and there's about a 40% chance that you can build that into a homogeneous field, and then it will be a pure homogeneous field with 3 layers. Unfortunately, if you want 4 layers, the job gets much harder. You need exactly 13 portals inside a triangle, or it won't be a pure homogeneous field, and even then there's only about a 1 in 100 chance that you'll have a homogeneous structure out of those randomly distributed 13 portals. So that's pretty hard to find. If you want a pure 5-layer field, and if you start with a triangle with just the right number of portals, 40 portals inside, there's only about a 1 in 25 million you'll be able to build a homogeneous structure out of that. Does that mean this is impossible? No, it just means that's the wrong way to look for a pure 5-layer homogeneous field. Instead of randomly finding triangles with the right number of portals, we need a way to zoom in on promising candidates and then fish out the 5-layer fields from those. So I'm going to show you how to do that. We're going to use the fact that a high-layer homogeneous field is made up of 3 simpler homogeneous fields joined together edge to edge in a big triangle with 1 layer thrown over the top. So if you can find 3 pure 4-layer fields in just the right pattern, you've found a pure 5-layer field. So to do that, we start with a single link. What you're looking at here is a collection of 10,000 portals just randomly scattered everywhere, and these 2 agents have made that base link, and now they're going to be finding portals which, when you make the triangle on that link, the triangle contains exactly 13 portals, just the right number for a 4-layer homogeneous field. Every time they find a triangle like that and make the field, an agent from the Pokemon faction destroys the triangle, so you can see the portals they found marked in yellow, and you'll see an amazing pattern appearing there. The portals that are just perfect with just the right number of other portals covered, they form 2 bands, almost straight lines across the playfield. I should point out that not every one of those yellow portals can be the apex of a 4-layer homogeneous field. They've just been counting portals. They haven't checked the structure yet, but the portals they will want will be on these 2 straight lines. If you move that base link, the lines of candidate apexes for your pure field, they move up and down or rotate with it, with the base link. If you shrink the base link, the candidates move further away, and if you grow it, they get really close. So if you're looking for a pure homogeneous field, this tells you a few things. First of all, it tells you where to look. There's these two parallel lines of possible apexes for your field. It also tells you that there's actually infinitely many possibilities, assuming your city is infinitely large. And it also tells you that most pure homogeneous fields are going to be really, really thin. Now, these agents have been busy marking candidates for a 3-layer homogeneous field. Now they're going to come back and join pairs of candidates for which the side is also a 3-layer homogeneous field. Now keep an eye on that flashing area there. What you'll see is every single pair of candidates, the actual link between them passes through that flashing zone. Let's see that again. That flashing star point is on the same line as the original base link, about half its length away. So that tells you, out of the infinitely many candidate apexes for the top and bottom fields, where are the candidate pairs to make the side field have the correct number of portals as well for your pure homogeneous field. Alright, now I know that might sound a bit complex, so let's see how this works. In this town here in Germany, it's called Erfurt. I've never been there. It looks like a pretty good place for ingressing, a lot of portals there. So I'm going to try to build a plan for a pure homogeneous field right here in this town. The first step is to pick 2 portals and draw a link between them. So let's do that right now. And there we go. Done. Now the next step is I'm going to try to find triangles that have that as a base in which we can build a homogeneous field of say 3 layers. So I'll need exactly 4 portals inside each one, arranged just right. Let's check this. There's 4 portals, sure enough. But the question is, can we choose one and join the corners to that one in a way that separates the other 3 into 3 individual small triangles? Let's just try that. So can we use that portal, for example? Does that separate the other 3 portals into 3 groups? It doesn't look like it. Those 2 close to the base link are both in the bottom triangle. But what if we use that portal? It's really close. Now, the question is, that neutral portal there, I really want that to be in the tiny thin triangle in the bottom, and it looks like it is. Which is great news, because that means we have found a candidate pure 3-layer field on this portal. I'm just going to mark the top apex with a yellow marker now. Alright, so I've chosen yellow, I picked markers, and done. The marker is there. Now I can delete that red triangle now. I mean, it's great that it's a pure 3-layer field, but we're after a pure 4-layer field here. So I need to find lots of candidate 3-layer fields with that original link as the base link. I know that the apexes will all be roughly the same distance away from the link as that first one. So there, that's only got 3 portals inside. That's no use. But every candidate apex will be about that distance away. That's going to be too far away. It'll have too many portals inside. The portals really close to the line will have too few. You really don't have to check them. So let's try this portal here. It's about the right distance away from that link. 1, 2, 3, 4 portals inside. And can we find a good splitter that separates the 3 other portals into 3 individual triangles? it looks like that portal there, once again, will do fine as a splitting portal. So that's great. Let's mark the apex again, as we did before. Delete that triangle and just keep looking for these candidate 4-layer fields. You don't want to only find candidates above your target line, you also look below it. And not just above and below either, but also out to the right and to the left as well. Just find as many candidates for pure homogeneous fields as you can. It looks like that portal Pier 37 just won't work. Even though it's got the right number of portals inside the triangle, there's no way to split them with one of them so the other 3 are in 3 separate triangles. Eventually you'll have marked a whole lot of candidate portals. Any one of those with a yellow marker would make a 3-layer homogeneous field with that base link. So now we want to choose 2 of them, one above the line and one below the line, which makes another pure 4-layer homogeneous field off the side. And how do we identify where? We measure about half the length of that link, so that's about 450 meters. Half of that is 225, so if I go 225 meters out to the side there, I'd expect that the line joining the portal above with the portal below should pass through about the center of that circle there, around about through that circle. On the other side, 225 meters out, let's just measure that, that's about there. So I'd expect that if I draw a line from a portal above to a portal below through that circle, I will get a candidate at least for a 4-layer homogeneous field on the side. The reason you go that far out is just to make sure you get about the right number of portals inside. It's not going to guarantee they have the right arrangement. And if you look here, this triangle, it's about the right distance out, but there's only 2 portals inside. That's because the portal density off to the left suddenly drops off, and we actually have to go a lot further out to get a portal, to get a triangle with the right number of portals inside. So there, that one has 4 portals inside. Unfortunately, they are not arranged properly to make a pure homogeneous field. So that's just tough luck. Let's have a look over on the right hand side of that link now. Now we're going to try to make a pure 3-layer homogeneous field with these 2 portals, Matilda and Brunnen im Langenarme. If they don't work, there's a whole bunch more portals we could use off to the right. We could try and join them with Haus zum Löwen or Teufelseck. But let's give these 2 a go first. There's the triangle. Does it have the right number of portals inside? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's good news. And can we find one that lets us, that if we join it, the anchors to it, if we join the corners to it, it separates the other 3 into 3 separate triangles? Clearly not that one. That leaves an empty triangle at the top. What about this one? That's going to leave an empty triangle at the bottom. So what about, oh, that one? That one, I think we have a winner. We have a winner here. So if we join the 3 corners to that one, then each of the top triangle, the bottom triangle, and the side triangle will each have exactly 1 portal each. That will give us the plan for a pure 3-layer homogeneous field. And since that top corner portal Matilda and the bottom one Brunnen, they make a pure 3-layer field with the original red link that we drew, we've got 3 pure 3-layer fields all joined together, which will make up the structure for a pure 4-layer homogeneous field right here in Erfurt, Germany. So let's just continue drawing all the links and all the links for that plan so we can see how it will work. Let's draw all these links. Draw faster. No, faster. Draw faster. Draw faster. Faster, faster, faster. All the little links too. That's right. And stop. And there you have it. Just by looking for 3-layer pure homogeneous fields, we have a 4-layer pure homogeneous fielding plan for Erfurt, Germany. It would have taken much longer to look for a 4-layer plan directly, not just because it's hard to find triangles with the right number of portals inside, but it's also that much harder to check if you've got 13 portals whether it makes up a homogeneous fielding plan. So I used the method in this video to find a 5-layer homogeneous fielding plan, a pure 5-layer homogeneous fielding plan in my hometown. And I've collected all the keys for it, and so now I'm ready. And so today, I'm off to make some fields. Wish me luck. Hi, this is Ingress Agent 57 Cell. If you're a subscriber to this channel, you would know there's a lot of videos on homogeneous fielding. A homogeneous field is one where every single point in the fielded area has exactly the same number of fields. So I worked out a way to efficiently find pure homogeneous fielding plans where not only do you have the same number of layers, but you've used every single portal inside the main triangle as well. So, and I put together a video explaining how to do that, how you can use this method to find your own homogeneous fielding plan. And I use the method in this video to find a 5-layer homogeneous fielding plan for my hometown. And I've collected all the keys, and now I'm ready. So today, I'm off to make some fields. Wish me luck. Today's fielding plan starts right here in Kings Park in Perth, Western Australia. Kings Park is that green patch there, and we're just going to zoom right in on it now. This is the very last portal. It's actually very near some absolutely stunning views of Perth. Let me just show you. They're behind those buildings there. You go behind those buildings and you can see this amazing view of the entire city. Anyway, I need a key to this portal. I'm just going to grab it and then we can go. So, capturing that portal, then it's a really easy downhill ride off to the next place. But I got halfway down the hill and then I realized something. I forgot to capture one of the portals back near the end of the field. So now I have to ride back up this hill that I've just been coasting straight down to capture that portal. Otherwise I can't link to it. The idea here was to link to the 2 end portals from the start portal. So as I'm building the entire field, you'll see the field all contained within 2 almost parallel links, almost parallel lines. I've captured the portal Sweet Smiling Melaleucas. Melaleuca is the name of a tree, not a person. The actual portal is that signboard. I don't know if you can see it just over my shoulder, just there. So that's captured, and I can now make the links I need to from the start portal of this 5-layer pure homogeneous field. Let's go!
And there, I've captured these 2 corners of the triangle. Now I'm off to the 3rd one, which is quite far away. It's a very long, thin triangle that I'm building here. The name of the portal I'm heading for is Urban Art Project Underpass. Let's go. I got to this portal, and when I recorded myself there, I accidentally put the video camera in slow motion mode, which is fine, except there's no audio, and I can't remember what I said. There's this nice mural under the train line. There's a road crossing that goes under there. This is the start portal for this fielding plan. We're going to link from here to the first 2 portals that were captured. That's probably what I said. Anyway, here we go. Right. I have had to use some JavaScript to clear some blockers here, but I'm expecting it to be a quiet ingressing day. I'm not worried about people smashing this field before I'm done.
Cyclists dismount. Alright, cyclists dismount. It's not like we're going anywhere right now anyway. The train's already passed, but... oh, there's another one. I've crossed the railway line. It said cyclists dismount, but I don't see any sign anywhere saying I can get back on again. There's no cyclist remount sign. So don't tell anyone, okay? But I'm going to get on the bike again. The shortest route is actually through the cemetery. So let's go. Actually in a little bit of bushland that's right near the cemetery. It's a little bit of native Australian bushland that's preserved right here in the middle of suburbia. And the reason it's preserved is because of this guy, Bill Day. That's actually my grandfather. He lived in this area and spent decades of his life looking after this piece of bushland here, maintaining it, clearing out weeds, fighting councils who wanted to have it developed, and so forth. I'm actually really glad that this 5-layer homogeneous fielding plan just happened to bring me so close to this particular portal. Bill Day Walk.
Right, so I'm going to capture the portals, the one that I want to capture, that's part of the plan, do all the links, and then just ride around this little path. It's beautiful. You wouldn't know you're in the middle of the suburbs here. It's just incredible. All of this, all the native trees, it looks very dry because this was actually done a couple of months before this video came out. So towards late summer. Anyway, and the path, it comes out just next to the road I need to go down to get to the next portal. So it's ridiculously convenient.
Well, I've just linked the third interior portal in the plan to Urban Project Underpass, Art Project Underpass, and that was called No Common Copy. Now behind me you see this mural. There's a mural there. When I made this plan, that was not a portal, but now it is. And so what this means is there's an extra portal smack in the middle of my 5-layer homogeneous fielding plan. I can still make a 5-layer homogeneous field, so I'm going to do that, but it's not going to be a pure one. It's not going to use every portal. It's not going to use that portal there, right behind me, which wasn't there last week when I checked. So if you're making a pure homogeneous fielding plan, and if you've got it all worked out, do it quickly. Don't delay, because new portals can appear, new portals can move, portals can disappear. In this case, I've got a portal submission request, not mine, someone has got a portal submission request that's gone through just in the past week. So this plan is not a pure homogeneous fielding plan. It's still a 5-layer homogeneous fielding plan, just not a pure 5-layer homogeneous fielding plan. Looks like it's back to the drawing board for me after I finish all these fields. So let's just carry on and continue.
The next few portals are actually at the hospital, so we've come through the cemetery to get to the hospital. Kind of the opposite way around from what some people do. But hey, this is what the plan called for. Here we go.
That was the 6th portal that I've just finished doing, making the links from the first field of this set of fields. And I'm actually closer to the last portal than I am from the first one. So that's just because most of the portals are bunched up near the wide end of this set of fields. Let's carry on.
The triangle's really quite thin at this point still, so there's not a lot of portals in the hospital that I need to capture. A plaque commemorating a famous doctor, a couple of statues in the new children's hospital, and that's about it.
We're done with all the hospital portals, and so it's back to Kings Park again, just across that road.
You'll notice that Kings Park is absolutely dense with portals. The reason for this is that pretty much every single tree along this road has a plaque commemorating a soldier who died during World War I or some other conflict. And for some reason, about half of them are portals.
Actually, the second time a video's brought me almost to this exact spot. If you look up this way here, you can see a vast green concourse, and we're actually in the middle of it here. It stretches in the other direction as well. So the time I was here before, you can find the video on my channel. It's called Space is a Big Place. My son and I made a scale model solar system.
I'm going to use this as the sun. It's a 61 centimeter ball that generates lots of static electricity, and I shall zap my dad. So the moon is about 17 centimeters away from the Earth. Oh, this is space. Space. Space.
So check that out. Space is a Big Place on this channel. Not an Ingress video, obviously.
Not long to go now. Now, I was actually really fortunate. Somebody on the blue team had come and done a whole lot of linking and fielding along this row of portals, and they stopped just outside my fielding plan. That's just where they decided to stop. That was very fortunate.
Made a little mistake in my planning. There's actually 2 paths like this. These are metal paths which are slightly raised over the ground. There's 2 parallel paths, and they've both got portals on them in the plan. So I'm going to have to flip between paths back and forth on my bicycle. The portals have really whimsical names too. The one I'm at here is called the Bush Chandelier. What is it exactly? Slender Bankshire, the Bush Chandelier. Now that's nice.
Yeah, that portal had a really nice name. The next one, not so much.
It really whimsical names, such as grass tree, turning roo poo into super glue. That's a grass tree there, by the way, behind me. How do they think of these names?
As I said, I had to ride back and forth between these two paths a couple of times, so you can see that in these views of my bike track and in the scanner as well. Lots of back and forth, but that's okay. I got it done.
Now at the central portal for this 5-layer homogeneous field. So I'm going to use my first soft bank of the entire operation, not the last one. And there'll be about a dozen outgoing links from here to a variety of the portals that we've already visited. Harsh Hakia is the name of the portal. There'll be a sign somewhere explaining what that means. It's probably further up the track behind the camera.
And now we're at the most portal dense part of Kings Park, where there's all those memorial plaques for the soldiers. We're right near the botanical gardens, so there are displays of plants with little plaques saying what the plants are. So as you can see, it's really thick with portals here.
Well, I'm in this beautiful shaded area in the Kings Park Botanic Gardens, and I'm just in range of the portal's sweet smiling Melaleucas, which is the second corner portal of this 5-layer homogeneous field. And before I did that though, there's something I wanted to show you over this way. Follow me. Up this pathway is a boab tree which was transported. They grow up in the northern part of this state, and this one was transported 3,000 kilometers to be planted here in Kings Park. It was sacred to the original inhabitants of the area, but when there was a major construction project going through, they were gracious enough to donate the tree to Kings Park so that everyone would get a chance to see it.
Because this is the central portal of the fielding plan, there's a huge number of links to be thrown from here and into here as well, and a huge number of fields to be obtained. So you can see that all happening in the scanner now. MU upon AP upon AP upon AP just flying up there. And then when that's all done, all the linking's done, there's just a handful more portals to capture now. And it's just two small short rows of plaques, of the memorial plaques of these soldiers, and then it's off to the very last portal in the entire plan.
I'm going to head to the final portal now and throw all the remaining links to complete this field. That's going to be a lot of fields, a lot of split fields, a lot of M, a lot of AP, not so much M. Alright, nearly done.
So off we go. And because I followed the plan to the letter to get to this point, you'll see from this final portal, all of these links just slot so neatly in between the links that I've made previously. And finally, when they were all done, it was a homogeneous 5-layer field. Exactly 5 layers everywhere within the fielded region, with just one excess portal that was not needed, that was there and not needed.
Background started, and I've finished all of the links and fields of this 5-layer homogeneous field. I'm going to ride back through the field now so you can see what it looks like on the screen, on the screen capture. But first I'll show you that view of Perth I was talking about at the very beginning.
So this here is the War Memorial in Kings Park, and as you can see, it overlooks the Swan River below, which is it's a fantastic view. It's even more stunning at night or at dawn. If you ever come to Perth, make sure you see this place. Anyway, now we're just going to have a little tour of the fields, the completed fields. This is Ingress Agent 57 Cell. I just want to thank you so much for watching. And if you like this kind of video, well, like it down below. Hit the like button below, hit the subscribe button, make sure your notifications are turned on.
I'd really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I have my fielding plan typed up carefully on a piece of paper. And remember, this is all taking place with not enough resonators.
Subiaco fountain, then... Oh no!
Take the same Samoan beans, add a little bit of milk powder to get to a 53%.
Yeah, okay.
And then we've teamed up with bulk coffee roasters in Midland to make a mocha.
A mocha. So this is a mocha chocolate.
It is. Yeah.
This is Ingress Agent 57 cell here, and I've now got my complete plan for a pure homogeneous field. This is the second time I've tried this, and now I've checked, and sure enough, there are no new portals in the area. So this really is going to be a pure 5-layer homogeneous field. So let's go and do this. Let's go and do this now. This video is actually part 3 of how to plan a pure homogeneous field, one that uses every single portal within the big triangle. Part 1 showed you how to find a plan. Part 2 was my first attempt to actually build one, which didn't quite work. And this is part 3.
And here we are at the first portal of the day. That's the blue and black butterfly mural on that side. You'll see there's another butterfly mural on that side. That's not actually within the fields that we're going to make. I'm just going to capture this now. I'm not making any fields from here yet. Anyway, we're under a blue field. I'm going to have to take that out by neutralizing a portal with the Jarvis. So let's begin. Now we've got the scanner view as well, which is great. It's a bit out of sync with the map showing my bike route, unfortunately. It gets in sync later, so let's not worry about that. I'm capturing blue and black butterfly mural, and I'm going to capture the other corner of this 5-layer field as well. In my previous attempt to make a 5-layer field, I just waited too long to execute this plan, and a new portal appeared in the middle of where I was fielding, so it wasn't a pure homogeneous field. I've checked now, there are no extra portals here. I have the plan. Nothing can possibly go wrong, right? Let's see how we go. Now, I'm sure you do not want to see my laughable attempt to glyph hack, so let's fast forward to where I need to use a Jarvis to clear these blue fields. I'm sorry, blue fields, you're so beautiful, but it's time for you to die. I need to make some fields. And ka-chow! There we go. And those are pretty much all of the blockers for this pure homogeneous 5-layer plan. So now it's off as quickly as I possibly can to the most distant portal in the entire plan. The reason a pure
pure homogeneous fielding plan tends to be long and thin like this is because if you've got a given number of portals inside a triangle, the area of the triangle, that fixes the area of the triangle, assuming your portal density is about the same everywhere. And the majority of triangles with a particular area are going to be long, thin ones. Half times base times height. The base can be anything, which means the height has to be small. So that doesn't mean that if you look for a long, thin triangle, it's more likely to be a pure homogeneous fielding plan. It's just that's where all the triangles are. There's so many more long, thin triangles with the right area. Oh, look, I found a unique capture. That was unexpected. Anyway, as I was saying, there's no point specifically looking for long, thin triangles. If you want to make a pure homogeneous fielding plan, the first video in this mini-series shows how to do that, shows how to go about looking for a fielding plan which does this, which uses every single portal in the triangle and is homogeneous, so it covers every single point in the triangle with the same number of fields. Check out Pure Homogeneous Fielding Part 1 and you'll see the method explained there. And here we are at the portal Cocoa Star of Red Dog. As in Part 2 of this series, I'm going to make two long links to the other end of the field, so as I'm building the field you'll be able to see that I use every single portal between these two lines. And right, okay, now the portals are linked, so we've got these two great big long links to the other end of this field. You can see that the other portal on the same side of this road is not in between those. It's not part of the field. There's also a green portal there. That green portal is also outside that wedge. It's a bit hard to see. It's a bit hard to see that the green portal is in fact outside the wedge. So I'll show you that. I'll show you that it is. Okay, so we link the one that is definitely between gets linked back to Cocoa Star of Red Dog. And now I'll capture the green portal and open up the link view, and you will see that I cannot link those two portals together. They are separated by that long link. So that portal that was green is in fact outside the plan. It's not part of the plan. I don't have to include it. Let's just leave it alone. Because the wedge is so thin, and because this is not really a very portal dense area, I have to go almost more than halfway back to get to the next portal in the plan. Here it is.
This part of Perth has a lot of these little micro parks, so you can see there. So we're actually at a place where they cut off the road. They cut off the road at the intersection so that the residents in the street have a nice quiet street that people don't drive through. But now they've used the space to build a little playground. I mean, it's a fantastic idea. And of course it means more portals as well. So I'm just going to capture this one now.
So I capture the portal now, and I should put an apex on because I'm starting to get to places where I'm actually going to be scoring some points. And link back to that distant portal, Cocoa Star of Red Dog, and we're done. We're done with this portal. Alright, now back to the plan. And I'm making my way to the Subiaco Theatre Gardens. Let's have a look at that.
It's a beautiful place with streams, ponds and so forth, and a lot of portals, so the action is really going to speed up now with a lot of links and fields going really quickly. Let's continue.
And there we go. As you can see, those links and fields are going to fly. Please ignore my terrible glyph hacking. I am not good at it. The only reason I am hacking at all is because when I started this plan, I really did not have enough resonators to finish it. So I do have to collect resonators as I go along. That's not really a great idea. When you begin a plan, you should have the resonators ready. But I didn't want to wait in case a new portal appeared in this triangle, which would destroy the entire plan completely. But you can see I got some good mileage out of the Apex I had running, and if you look on the Intel screenshot at the top of this video, you can see it really does look like something awesome is starting to happen. This bit's good, but there's going to be so many more links and fields coming when I get to that line of green portals slightly off to the right that you can see there.
It looks like the next couple of portals have some farmer's market on at the moment. That looks very interesting. So tell us about this chocolate.
So we're a bean-to-bar chocolate company, which means that we start with cocoa beans from scratch.
Fantastic.
That we get in from various locations around the world, and we basically process them all the way to the finished chocolate right here in
Right. So you get the beans in and then you
we
make
roast
the chocolate
them,
bars.
and then we crush them up, and so we end up with these nibs once we've crushed them.
That's great.
And then we grind them with sugar and milk powder and some other things as well, depending on the recipe. We grind them for about 2 to 3 days, depending on the recipe, and then we end up with the finished bars of chocolate.
Finished bars of chocolate. That looks amazing. Can I try some?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Do you like dark or milk?
I do like dark and milk. I mean, you can't go wrong with chocolate.
That's a 62% with beans from Panama. So the Panamanian beans give it sort of a fruity finish to it.
Yeah, it does. I can taste that.
Whereas if you compare that to the Samoan, that's an 85 from Samoa. So the Samoan beans don't have those fruity notes. It's more of your classic chocolate flavour.
And it's not very bitter either.
No, so for an 85, it's quite dark.
Definitely
It doesn't really have the
Yeah.
bitterness you often associate with
Yeah,
something
sure.
like that.
Wow.
We then take the same Samoan beans, add a little bit of milk powder to get to a 53%.
Yeah, okay.
And then we've teamed up with bulk coffee roasters in Midland. We put their
yes.
fresh roasted coffee beans on the back
Oh, yeah.
to make a mocha.
A mocha. So this is a mocha chocolate.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. I'm not a coffee fan, but that's good. That's good.
To
Yeah.
be honest, neither of us drink coffee, but we both like the mocha.
Are you pilots?
Yeah, we both.
You're both pilots. That's great. That's fantastic. And are people able to order online?
Not at the moment, no.
Not at the moment.
At the moment, we're just selling at the markets.
Yeah, sure.
Subiaco market.
Yeah,
but,
okay.
Yeah, we will have online ordering at some point in the future.
Okay.
But yeah, at the moment we're mostly just here.
That's fantastic. Yeah. No, it is really good chocolate. So yeah, hopefully they'll have online ordering soon. Check them out. Two Lost Pilots.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah.
Alright, I spent quite some time there, but it really was good chocolate. Now, on to the next portals, and one of the next few portals has a really interesting story behind it. Let me tell you about that.
Here, this mural, diversity wall mural. It's painted on the back of the church. It was commissioned by the church to make the car park look a bit nicer than just a grey concrete wall. And then later the church did some renovations which involved knocking out parts of that wall. When the renovations were all done, they got the original artist to fix up the mural. But they didn't fix it up perfect. They didn't make it exactly the way it was before. I don't know why, but if they had wanted to, they could have checked Ingress, because Ingress has, as the portal photo, a photo of the original artwork. It may well be that Niantic, on Niantic servers, that's one of the few places in the world where the original of Diversity Wall mural is still visible. So anyway, There's quite a few links to make from here. Let's capture it and start making them.
Now I get to this main strip of portals. There's dozens of portals along this road. I know exactly the order I need to link them because I have my fielding plan typed up carefully on a piece of paper with every single link I need to make in order. So as long as I follow this list, I won't make any mistakes. The field will be completed. And you should do this if you've got any plan of any complexity, no matter how well you know the plan. If it has to work, print it out as a list that you can follow step by step, one by one, and so not make any mistakes. Mistakes can be ridiculously hard to fix up. So far so good with this plan. There have not been any mistakes yet.
I've just done all the linking and fielding from this war memorial here, which is a very distinctive landmark in this area. One thing I'm worried about is I'm really low on resonators. Hopefully I will not actually run out of resonators, but I started about 100 short, and I don't seem to be catching up. Let's see how we go.
I mentioned earlier in the video that because of the lack of resonators, I had to do a whole lot of glyph hacking during the operation. That's yet another reason to be prepared in advance, to have all the gear you need before you start the op, because this is slowing me down. You know, time spent glyph hacking is time not spent building links and fields or traveling to the next portal. But this is the situation I was in.
I've got 4 more portals to capture and 29 low-level resonators, so that's just perfect. I'm about to capture this portal, which I submitted. In fact, this is one of the portals I submitted, and it was approved sometime between my previous H5 plan and this one. So without this portal, this particular pure homogeneous fielding plan would not be possible, which is, I guess, why I didn't find it before. So new portals can wreck a pure H5 plan, or they can make it possible. Portals are portals.
There were 2 other portals right near Painted Face, and then it was back to the very first portal that I visited on this day, which was Blue and Black Butterfly Mural. That's a really hard portal name to say. I suggest you try saying it 10 times and mention in the comments whether you could do that.
And now I'm back where I started, at the Blue and Black Butterfly Mural, ready to blake a blot of blinks and bleeds. Here we go.
Gosh, when I recorded that, I was so confident and naive. Remember when I said there were no room for mistakes? Well, let's rewind to the very start of the video, when I very first visited this portal. Can you see the mistake I'm making?
I need to put a soft bank on this portal, and I've already put 2 shields. So I really don't have much choice. I'm going to have to flip it, destroy it, rebuild it, and destroy it with my tough shields on. And I'm going to have to go and get a key, get more. I'm going to have to go back to Coco Star of Red Dog to get keys as well. I guess this also applies to the other portal that I started off at. This is very unfortunate. All right, well, here we go.
So that was fun. I had to, as I said, I had to use a Jarvis virus to flip that portal to green. Then I had to destroy my Aegis shield mods that I had just placed on that portal earlier in the morning. Capture the portal again, rebuild it, and get a key for it. And then go and do that to the other portal at the other corner of this entire field, and then ride my bike all the way back to Coco Star of Red Dog in order to rethrow those 2 long links that I had thrown at the very start. And remember, this is all taking place with not enough resonators to do all of this. At least I got some good exercise.
That was a much longer detour than I expected, going all the way back to Coco Star of Red Dog. linking back to this portal and the church, which will be the last portal I visit on this field plan. But now we're here, back at blue and black butterfly Bleural, ready to make a whole lot of links and fields. Remind me to switch on my Apex first. So I threw all the links I had to throw from that mural. Then there was one little portal in a park that just needed a couple of links from it. That was easy. And then it was off to the final portal in this entire pure 5-layer homogeneous plan. A Catholic church in a little tiny street in suburban Subiaco. And this is it at last. This is the very last portal of this pure 5-layer homogeneous fielding plan. Now, I did make a few mistakes along the way. Sometimes when I was at a portal, I did the links not in the order that my plan said I should. When I realized that, I very carefully checked whether or not it made a difference. I'm pretty sure it didn't, but I am going to check very carefully when I get back, just in case this has all been a huge disaster and I have to restart all over again. Hopefully not. Anyway, this is the very last portal. This is the third time here. First to capture it at the start, second to destroy it because I'd used up all the mod slots but now here we are. I just have to make these last 16 links very carefully and we're done. My plan says I need 2 softbanks on this portal, but I'm going to see if I can get away with just 1, because one of the very first link I'm supposed to make is
XM reserves 80% soft
is to Coco Star of Red Dog, and that's already been made. I went and made that from the other end, from Coco Star of Red Dog. So let's try this now. I find it helpful. What I have on my paper is a big long list of links I need to make. I find it helpful to read them out loud. So I need to make a link to blue and black, I can never pronounce this, blue and black butterfly mural, blue and black butterfly mural, and then to Arts Garden Fountain. Let's do that.
Establishing portal link. Portal link established.
Right.
Field established.
That's one
Excellent
field.
work.
Next, Arts Garden Fountain, and then black cockatoos carving. Where's Arts Garden Fountain? Come on, Arts Garden Fountain.
Establishing portal link.
And then black cockatoos carving, then Doyle Court.
Excellent work. Establishing portal link. Portal link established. Field established. Excellent
Doyle
work.
Court, then Subiaco Museum.
Establishing portal link. Portal
Where's
link
Subiaco
established.
Museum?
Field
Closer, I
established.
think.
Excellent work.
Subiaco Museum, then Subiaco Fountain.
Establishing portal link.
I'm reading from my piece of
Portal
paper when I say this.
established. Field
Subiaco
established.
Fountain,
Excellent work.
then...
Established.
Oh no!
Portal link established. Field established. Excellent work.
Okay. My heart stopped for a moment there, but this is not a disaster. I linked the Fallen Soldiers Memorial before the fountain, but that's okay. They are in separate sections of the field. These 2 links could have been done in either order. This is what I mean. I'm this close to finishing this. I don't want mistakes like this. Subiaco, okay, so we've done Subi Fallen Soldiers Memorial, done. The next one is Treeside. Treeside, I cannot quite tell what kind of link that is, but it is the next link on the list. Then Subiaco Municipal Chambers Park and Subiaco Coat of Arms. There's so many, of course, there's a lot of portals named Subiaco. We are in Subiaco. Subiaco Municipal Chambers, no, where is it? Oh my goodness, Subiaco Museum is not linked. I have stuffed up. I have stuffed up badly. This is not good.
It was at this point I realized I'd made a serious mistake. Let's rewind the video and I'll show you exactly what that was.
Subiaco Museum, then Subiaco Found...
It was back when I was supposed to link to Subiaco Museum. Instead, I linked to Subiaco Municipal Chambers plaque. In the list of available links, they both just looked like Subiaco M. I really should have looked at the pictures. And there goes the link. This mistake is going to be much harder to fix.
This is a huge mistake. And I can't flip this yet because I flipped it earlier because of my previous mistake.
XM reserves.
Portal's immune. I may have to just come back later and finish this off. I'm going to need to collect all these keys all over again and wait till the portal cools down.
Although you couldn't hear it in my voice, that was, how shall we say it, an emotionally difficult moment for me. I had expected to be finished. The plan had already taken longer than I hoped because of an earlier mistake. And now I had to go back and get a whole bunch of keys and wait for that cooldown so that I could flip that portal to green for the second time. So that's what I did. That's what I did. Yes, I was tempted to quit, but I did not quit.
Well, while waiting for that, I decided to get one of those yummy looking pastries from that market earlier. About 10:40 here now. I haven't had breakfast yet. I thought this would be quicker. That tastes really good.
At last I had the keys I needed, I had brunch in my tummy, and an hour had passed since I had last successfully used a Jarvis on that portal, that last portal of this entire plan. So it's back there now. It's back there now to finish off the field yet again. Hopefully successfully this time.
Well, I'm back again. Now this is the 4th time at this portal. Hopefully the last.
XM reserves. 90%.
And there it is. It's now green again. So now it dropped a couple of keys, which is nice. I got copies of them anyway. Now it's time to destroy the portal and start making those links all over again. No more mistakes, I hope.
1% drain. You can hit 1% drain. Resonator destroyed. XM reserves. 82%. Resonator destroyed.
So then it was time to redeploy all of those resonators and then make those links yet again. This time being very, very careful to actually link the correct portals in order, not to tap unnecessarily. So I took a bit more time this time just to be certain I really did have the correct links. I do know all these portals really well, and now of course I was very, very sensitive to the fact that they all have quite similar names. If you're planning an op, it's a good idea, obviously. Skip portals that have similar names. I didn't have any choice here. This was the pure 5-layer homogeneous fielding plan that I had to work with. If there had been multiple portals all named exactly the same, I would have had to use them. But there it is. The links are going in now. I've got my Apex running. It's getting me heaps of AP. And within a few more links, the pure 5-layer homogeneous field will actually be complete. There it goes, the second last link. And now for the very last link to Richard Diggins Park.
beautiful, cute little park in the middle of a residential area, and it's done! A pure 5-layer homogeneous field. A complete, exact 5 layers of fields throughout every part of that triangle, and every single portal in there is used. As I said, if you want to do something like this yourself, start with a 4-layer pure homogeneous field. There's a video, part 1 of this series, shows you how to find a plan like this. There it is. So thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. It was a lot of effort, but we made it. We made it. And anyway, that's about all I've got for this video. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. And check out Two Lost Pilots Chocolates. That's not a paid sponsorship. They just have really great chocolate. In Ingress, there's a rule that says portals cannot be closer than 20 meters. That rule's not always applied strictly, and in fact, from November 21 to March 2022, that rule was completely switched off, and that meant there was an opportunity for agents to create portals right on top of each other, leading to some fantastic ingress operations, such as this 14-layer homogeneous field in Toronto, and then a 17-layer one in the same city. Co-located portals allow you to do amazing things you couldn't normally do, such as this world record smallest 6-layer homogeneous field that fits completely within the scanner range. Or this 6-layer field, where 3 of the layers are green and 3 are blue. Also in Toronto. What's with these guys? They keep doing stuff. I'm Ingress Agent 57 Cell. In this video, I want to show you how to take advantage of co-located portals in your city to make homogeneous fields. I've modified my animation software to show layer counters. You can see them. Those are the white numbers appearing in the animations. Let's start by seeing how many fields you can make without using any internal portals. This agent has a co-located pair of portals. I've shown them in slightly different places just for clarity. And from that pair of portals, you can make 2 fields off a single base link. If you've got 3 portals in the same place, you can make 3 fields, just like that, by linking all 3 of those portals to the same base link. And so on. If you've got 4, you can make 4 fields. If you want to make fewer fields for some reason, you can. For example, this agent has 5 portals in the same location. If they only use 4, they get 4 fields. There are good reasons why you might want to do that, as you'll see later in this video. If you have multiple sets of co-located portals, the number of layers you can make just multiplies. Here we've got a pair of portals at the left. They've made 2 base links, and by connecting each of the 5 portals at the top to each of the 2 down the bottom, as well as the one on the right, then they get 10 fields. They can get 10 fields like this. You don't have to visit the quintuple portal last. You can also build those 10 layers from the single portal, as long as you link to the double portal first. Once those 2 base links are in, each link to the portals at the top produces 2 fields for a total of 10. However,
If you make the 5 links to the top first and then try to make links that get 5 fields at a time, you'll run into a rule Niantic has that you can only make 2 fields with any given link. Any more fields than that and you'll get none. In 2021, a team in Poland used an arrangement like this to cover their entire country in 173 layers, but many of those triangles they made had no fields because of this fact that you cannot make more than 2 fields with a single link. Link order is really, really important. In Poland, they actually had a triple portal, not a double portal, down the bottom. Now, if you've got a set of 5 and a set of 3, you can make 15 layers, but you can't do it by closing the layers from the single portal. I talk about that in the video I made about those Polish fields. You look that up, the link should be there at the top of this video. Anyway, with a triple portal and a quintuple portal, you can make 15 layers. In general, if you've got 2 sets of co-located portals, you can make as many fields as you would imagine you can make. The product of the multiplicities at the 3 corners. If you also have a doubled portal somewhere else, you can get twice as many fields. Just look at this. First, connect the double portal to one of the sets of co-located portals, go to the other set, and then make all possible triangles. But be careful to link to the double first. Link to the 2 portals on the right, and only then do you link to your multiplicity of portals in the other direction. Otherwise, you'll fall foul of that more than 2 fields equals no fields rule that Niantic has. Again, if you want to make less than the maximum possible, you can do that just by not actually making all the fields. Here, this agent's going to make 28 fields. It's not actually possible to make exactly 29 with this set of portals unless you use some internal portals as well. If the double portal was a triple portal, would that mean 45 layers? The answer, sadly, is no. Remember that rule. If you make 3 or more eligible fields with a single link, you actually get no fields. So this agent, as they start closing fields from the top, if they have made 3 links to one side from one of those top portals, they're not going to be able to close any more fields by linking to the other side. So here, they're only using 2 of the portals at the right. They can't use all 3. They might as well have just ignored one of them. If you want to make a homogeneous field with many, many, many layers, you will also want to use some of the portals inside this triangle to increase the number of layers. Let's just refresh our memories about how that works when you don't have co-located portals. First, for example, you might build a 5-layer field. If you want to make a 6-layer field, you first build a 5-layer field, and then onto the top edges of that you build some 4-layer fields. Onto the top edges of those you build 3-layer fields, and then 2-layer fields, finally single-layer fields, and then you go to the top portal and throw a whole lot of backlinks, making sure you make the big triangles first. That way the 5-layer field gets covered with 1 more layer, the 4-layer fields get covered with 2 more, and so on and so on. So everywhere there's exactly 6 layers. If, as in this animation, you have a double portal at the top, then the triangle at the bottom later gets covered with 2 layers, and you can do twice as many backlinks. So you only need to make a 4-layer field at the bottom, and then cap the sides of those with 2-layer fields, and then you can make a 6-layer homogeneous field. But why only 6 layers? If you've got the time, if you've got the patience or the people, you can start with a standard 6-layer homogeneous field down the bottom, and then expand that by building 4 layers on the sides of those, 2 layers on the sides of each of those 4s, and finally go to the double portal, broadcast all the backlinks, one set of backlinks from each of the portals there. So with a double portal, you can make an 8-layer field. If you have a triple portal, you can make a 9-layer field. Again, you start with a traditional 6-layer homogeneous field down the bottom, but then you only need to build 3-layer fields onto the sides of those. With a double portal, you can make 8 layers. That's the 6 down the bottom plus 2 more. With a triple portal, you can make 9. With a quadruple portal, 10. A quintuple portal, 11 layers. These are the maximum because traditionally you can just make a 6-layer field from a set of single portals. And that's because of outgoing link limits. If you can find a way to overcome that, you can make even more layers. Let's just look a bit more closely at the situation where you've got a quadruple portal and you want to make 10 layers, because there is a gotcha. There is a gotcha when you're throwing those backlinks. So, first of all, a 6-layer field down the bottom, and then 2-layer fields on the sides of those, just 2-layer fields. And then they go to the quadruple portal. But now let's have a really close look at what they do when they reach the 4 portals at the very apex. First, from one of those portals, they create the big triangle that covers everything. So that adds 1 layer to every part of this field. Now the bottom has 7, the 2s are 3, and there's 1 layer near the top. When they link to the apex of the original 6-layer field, that adds another layer to just the top part of this homogeneous field. The 2s are now 4 and the top portion has 2 layers. Linking to the apexes of the 2s now means the top has 3 layers. So doing all of the backlinks from one of the top portals has added 1 layer to the big triangle at the bottom, 2 layers to the smaller triangles, 3 layers to the region where there weren't any triangles before. Now they do the backlinks from the second portal at the top, and that adds another 1, 2 and 3 layers, so we've got 8 layers at the bottom, 6 in the smaller triangles, and 6 in the top part. If we keep on adding 1, 2 and 3 layers, we're going to have too many layers in the top part of this field. And so for the remaining 2 portals at the top, they do not link back to the tops of those small triangles. And then in the end, we have a 10-layer homogeneous field, instead of a field with 10 layers in some places and 12 layers in others. Let's just watch that again, but this time the quadruple portal, they're drawn in different places. They're still co-located, really, they're just drawn differently. And you'll see each of the smaller peaks is only linked to twice, so that we only add 2 extra layers to the top part of the field. It often happens like this, that you don't make all of the possible backlinks. Here, we're trying to make a 7-layer field using a double portal, and you'll see some of the backlinks were left out from one or the other of the 2 portals near the top. This teal-coloured agent is lucky enough to have 2 doubled portals, so that means they can make a total of 12 layers. The first step is to make an 8-layer field using the method we described earlier at the bottom using one of those double portals. Once they've made an 8-layer field, they build 6-layer fields on the sides of those, then 4-layer fields on the sides of those 6-layer fields, finally 2-layer fields on the sides of those, and then they go to the double portal at the top and start throwing all of the backlinks in order to create a whole bunch of layers. That will leave them with a 10-layer field. The extra 2 layers come because at the end of all that, there's still 2 links they haven't made between the double portals. Making those links closes 2 more fields. Let's just take a moment to admire the stats here. 1,140 fields?
The reason this generates so much AP is there's literally 2 standard 6-layer fields hiding inside there. One inside the 8-layer field at the bottom, and then another one built right next to it on the edge. You won't be able to do this unless you have a huge number of portals available. Now here's a bluish agent with a triple portal and a double portal. So they start as usual by building the biggest field they can using the double portal. That's 8 layers here. The layers they can get in general is the number of layers in that bottom field plus the number of layers they could make without using internal portals. So for this, that's 8 at the bottom plus 6 big fields is 14 layers. So the 8-layer field is done because they have a triple portal at the top. They build 5-layer fields on the sides of that one, and then 2-layer fields on the sides of those. 8, 5, 2. The number of layers in each smaller triangle goes down by the number of portals you have at the top. So then it's to the triple portal at the apex and throw all the necessary backlinks, not all possible backlinks, or there'll be too many fields, too many layers near the top. Finally, close the 3 remaining fields to get 14 layers. But wait a minute. With a triple portal at the bottom triangle can have 9 layers. Doesn't that mean we could get 9 plus 6 is 15 layers from these 2 portals? Let's try that and see what goes wrong. So, first of all, we get the 9 layers at the bottom. Although this time I've put them at the side, just so the portals are in the same locations. So we've got a big 9-layer field. Because we're building towards a double portal, we want to build 7-layer fields on the sides of that 9-layer field. And that's when we hit a problem. Because the bottom one of these 2 7-layer fields has to be made with no co-located portals. And unless you can find some other way to overcome the outbound link limit, you'll be stuck at a 6-layer field here. You won't be able to put enough softbanks on that portal to make a 7-layer field. So it doesn't matter if you use the double portal or the triple portal as the portal that you visit last. 14 layers is still the limit with this set of co-located portals. If you have even more sets of co-located portals and enough other portals inside the triangle that they surround, the number of layers you can make in a homogeneous field is absolutely crazy. Let's just have a look at this collection here. There's a quadruple portal at the top and then 2 pairs of portals down on the corners. So remember, with 2 pairs of portals, you can make 12 layers. So that's what they're doing here. Now remember, when you make those 12 layers, inside there are 2 normal 6-layer homogeneous fields, which is why this 12-layer field down the bottom has such a large number of links and fields already. Now we've got a 12-layer field. 12 minus 4 is 8. We've got a quadruple portal at the top, so 12 minus 4 is 8. We need to build 8-layer fields on the sides of that 12-layer field. Now, that's possible because there are doubled portals down the corner. But remember, to make an 8-layer field using a doubled portal, you need to first build a standard 6-layer field. So that's 2 more 6-layer fields. There's already 2 inside the 12. Now there's another 2 on the sides underneath those 8-layer fields. And finally 4-layer fields on the sides of those, and then to the quadruple portal to throw all the backlinks and finish the fields. 2,292 fields for 2,232 links, 28 layers. This is not a solo operation. Anyway, that's about all I have for this video. If you have a complex arrangement of co-located portals and you want some guidance on how to build some incredible homogeneous field with them, do feel free to reach out to me. I'd love to see what plans we can put together or you put together. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. I've got more to say about collocated portals coming soon. This is 57 Cell signing out. Hi, I'm Ingress Agent 57 Cell, and in this video I want to tell you about a completely unique Ingress operation that took place in Toronto. They made a 6-layer homogeneous field where 3 of the layers were green and 3 were blue. It's incredible, and I want to show you exactly how it was done. I've also got a passcode to give you. You can see the first part of the passcode there. Watch through the video and you'll get the whole passcode. But let's look at this incredible 6-layer field. When you loaded it up in the scanner and slowly rotated the view, you got this really trippy effect of the green field sometimes showing and the blue sometimes showing. But there really are 6 layers of exactly the same size, 3 green and 3 blue. Let's see how on earth they accomplish this really rather incredible thing. The Toronto agents used an arrangement of portals that looked like this. Now, that portal on the corner, in fact all the portals on the corners, they are actually co-located pairs of portals. 2 portals with exactly the same latitude and longitude. Let's just draw those portals in slightly different locations so that we can see there's really 2 portals there on those corners. Now the resistance agent goes and captures the other twin of each of those 2 portals on the base and makes a link. The reason the enlightened agent is waiting is the resistance and enlightened together are going to simultaneously throw 2 links, and they will cross, and make sure they actually cross. You can do cross links if you throw them at exactly the same time. Now the enlightened agent goes to the middle and creates a nice little layered field, and the resistance agent does the same. And now they get ready to make another pair of cross links. Wait for it, they go to those 2 portals on the left, and at the same time they throw those links and then builds triangles on the left side of the fields they've made. And again on the right, a pair of cross links, closing those fields, and now they're ready to go to the final portal at the very apex. Again, that's a co-located pair of portals, and they can complete the homogeneous field from there. The green player has made a 3-layer homogeneous field, and the blue player will make a 3-layer homogeneous field occupying exactly the same triangle of space within their city. There we go. And so you can have a look at that. They've both scored exactly 3000 MU. They've both got the same amount of AP, the same number of links, same number of fields. There's 3 layers there within that entire thing. Let's just have a look at that all over again. But this time just the fields will be visible. You won't see the links and fields. So the enlightened agent first, they capture the 2 base portals and make a link between it. We can't see it. It's there. The resistance agent comes and makes a link that's on exactly the same place between the twin portals of those. And then they go and make a pair of cross links and then close the first 2 fields. Then they go to the middle portal and they make a 2-layer field each. So we've got a 2-layer field of green and one of blue on exactly the same little triangle there. Then another pair of crosslinks, another pair of fields, and yet another on the right, and finally to the top where they close off all of the remaining fields. They've now got 3 layers each for a total of 6 layers, a 6-layer cross-faction homogeneous field.
That's about all I've got for this video. Thank you so much for watching. You want to see more like it? Please do subscribe. And did you get the passcode? If you find the passcode is fully redeemed, make sure you subscribe and switch on notifications just in case my next video has passcodes too. And thank you so much for watching, and congratulations to the Toronto agents who pulled off this incredible field. This is 57 Cell here, and today we're going to see if ChatGPT can write an IITC plugin. First though, we'll try CatGPT, and what I'm going to ask it is this: can you write me an IITC plugin for homogeneous fields? What do we get? Meow 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 meow. Meow 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 meow. Maybe we'll try a different kind of CatGPT.
Can you help me write an IITC plugin for homogeneous fields?
No matter how many homogeneous fields you make, you'll never get your field link ratio to equal 1.
That version of CatGPT was not very helpful either. Let's go to ChatGPT, the proper one now. I'm not going to bother with version 3.5. I've already prepared a large requirements document. I need you to write an IITC plugin called Homogeneous Fields. Basically, I've described exactly what I want the plugin to do. Let's give it this description. I'll just cut and paste. There, I've pasted that entire description into GPT-4, but before you write the code, please analyze these requirements and ask me for clarification on any point that seems unclear. I might as well get ChatGPT to improve my writing first. This is a complex task involving a combination of geometric computation, recursive algorithm design, user interface design, and so forth. I'd rate this task as a 7 or 8. On a difficulty scale of 0 to 10. Alright, ChatGPT says this is a tough ask. Basically, the algorithm works like this. You start with a triangle, that's a level 1 field. You pick a point in the middle and try to make level 1 fields there, and that's now a level 2 field. Then you try and pick points in the middle of those. And you keep on doing that recursively. And it's asking me, is there a specific logical criteria for choosing the central splitter randomly? Okay, can you clarify the rules of linking portals? The short path heuristic. I didn't ask it just to build an HCF, but also plan a route through it and figure out how many keys it's going to need. How do we calculate the keys needed for each portal? The number of links 2, or is there another mechanism involved? Is it possible that the central splitter for a given triangle will be one of the corner portals of another triangle in the same HCF? If the construction fails, is it acceptable to simply display an error or abort the process? Right, I'd better give it answers to these questions. Alright, so I've written some answers to its question. Do you have any more questions? Thank you for the detailed response. They provide clarity and understanding. Plan visualization. Do we need to visualize the plan on the IITC map as we're constructing the HCFs, or only once the plan is complete? What would happen if the user clicks on the same portal twice? It's thinking of some really good questions here. The answers to the next round of questions. Alright. Is this enough questions? Does it have more questions? Thank you for the clarifications. So now it's suggesting how it's going to build the code to break it into chunks that it can do. And now, oh look, it's writing code now. We've got the beginnings of an IITC plugin. This is so awesome. Meow, 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 meow. Now I'm going to copy this and paste it into this new user script in TamperMonkey What's the next chunk of code?
Meow, 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 meow.
Alright, I've copied that. I've saved that, I hope. And let's ask it for the next bit of code. I'm ready for the next chunk of code.
Meow, 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 meow. That was the start of about 20 minutes of cutting and pasting from ChatGPT into the plugins section of my browser. Meow, 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 and then it was done. All the code was in. Now it was time to test the plugin and see if it worked.
Now I'm going to refresh Intel, and unfortunately we don't have the link appearing here.
20 or so minutes of cutting and pasting the code was followed by another 6 or 7 or 8 hours of debugging the code with ChatGPT's help.
Let's replace this match block with what Draw Tools had. And look, there's a plan HCF button. And look, it doesn't seem to be actually doing anything. Find an HCF plan with 2 layers. Does anything happen? Aha, there's an error happen. I'll just paste this error message into ChatGPT and say, what's going on?
Many hours later.
I notice you set the button to be disabled. Is there a reason for that? This is going to work now. Selected portals is not defined. Okay.
Many hours later.
I reckon I'm going to need it to completely rewrite the generate plan function.
Let's give this a go. So I click Plan HCF, bump that up to 4 layers. I'll pick 3 portals, 1, 2, 3, and find an HCF plan. And there, it's found one. I'm going to have to test this and see if this plan actually works. Well, there you have it. With the help of ChatGPT, we've now got an IITC plugin that can figure out if you can build a homogeneous field in your area. Not only that, but give you a complete list of the keys you're going to need, as well as a linking plan. You know, what order you should visit each portal and what you should link them to. So make sure you're subscribed to this channel, because in the next video I'm going to give this plugin a spin. I'm going to show you exactly how to use it and where you can get it from. And also, if you're keen to develop it further, make a few suggestions for improvements. So hit the subscribe button, turn on the notifications so you don't miss that. Thank you so much for watching. This has been a lot of fun, pretty exhausting at times, but a lot of fun. I'll see you in the next video. Meow, 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 meow. Subscribe. Meow, 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 meow. Subscribe. Hello, this is Ingress Agent 57Cell, and in my previous video I got ChatGPT to write a plugin for IITC. Meow, 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 meow. Subscribe. IITC is an overlay that makes the Ingress Intel map so much better, and this plugin helps you plan homogeneous fields. If you've ever dreamed of making a homogeneous field, this is your chance to get a plan that actually works. It does actually work. So I want to show you how it works, how to use it, and where you can get it from. But first, if you're subscribed to the channel, thank you so much. I got this beautiful little play button for 5,757 subscribers. I'll tell you the full story of this in another video later, not now. I'll just put it here.
The first step, if you've already got IITC, is to install this plugin. You can follow the link on the screen or the QR code or the links in the description of this video as well. You'll see a screen something like this. Click install, then refresh Intel, and you should see a link in the top right corner. It's called Plan HCF. When you click on that link, the field planning dialog box will open up. You'll see it says choose 3 portals, so you click on 3 portals. They'll appear in a list in the box. Once you've done that, you choose how many layers you want to make, click Find HCF Plan, and there it is. It's as simple as that. Copy your plan somewhere where you can print it out, and then you're all ready to go and collect some keys. Once you've got all the keys, it's time to make the fields.
First step is capture on my bike. I am on my bike. Okay. Capture Subiaco clock tower. Link to on my bike. Capture Pablo Picasso plaque. Link to on my bike and to Subiaco clock tower. Capture ambulant poetry. Link to on my bike. Capture Juice Burgers, which has changed its name. And link to on my bike. Capture the Jones house. Link to on my bike and to Subiaco clock tower. Capture high voltage box and link to Subiaco clock tower. Capture the pearl diver. Link to on my bike. Link to Juice Burgers. Link to ambulant poetry. Capture black cockatoo wall mural. Link to on my bike, to Subiaco clock tower, to the pearl diver, to Pablo Picasso plaque, to high voltage box, and to Juice Burgers. Capture Subi Plaza Space Invader. Link to Black Cockatoo's wall mural and to the Pearl Diver. Capture Mixed Media Mural, which is right there. And link to Black Cockatoo's wall mural. Capture baby sharks.
Please don't add that. Just don't. Okay, but remove it before we upload, okay?
Link to Black Cockatoo's wall mural. Link to Mixed Media Mural. Capture furry art wall. Link to mixed media mural. Capture Gentleman Bulldog, another mural right behind me. Link to Black Cockatoo's wall mural and mixed media mural. 2 blank murals get linked together. Capture Ties building. Link to On My Bike. Link to Black Cockatoo's wall mural. Link to the Pearl Diver. Link to mixed media mural. Link to Ambulant Poetry. Link to Subi Plaza Space Invader. Link to Gentleman Bulldog. And link to Furry Art Wall. Last of all, capture Float, which is right behind me. Link to On My Bike, Ties buildings, Black Cockatoo's wall mural, Subiaco clock tower, mixed media mural, high voltage box, Jones house, baby shark, and furry art wall. And that's all. I'll check it on Intel just to make sure it really is 4 layers.
Sure enough, that made a cute tiny little 4-layer homogeneous field. Now you quickly get the plugin and start planning your own field, but don't stop watching yet. Let me tell you some of the ways this plugin doesn't quite work or can be improved. First though, there's a lot of randomness in how it chooses a plan, so every time you click that button, you'll get a brand new plan. Keep clicking till you get one that you like. The first bug to be aware of is there's no way to export to Draw Tools yet. I wanted that to be in there, but it just didn't work and I couldn't get it to work. A more serious bug, but probably easier to fix, is it really gets messed up if there's portals with the exact same name, even if those portals are somewhere in the middle of the field. So if you see this message, this error message, that's probably what's happening, but just try again. It would be really easy to change this plugin into a general maximum fielding plugin. All you'd have to do is change this bit of code so that instead of rejecting the whole plan if it fails to split one of the sub HCFs, it should just carry on, and then you'll get a max fielding plan for your set of 3 portals. The only hiccup there is the plan might not be doable because of outgoing link limits. Speaking of which, that's an option in the code, which could be exposed in the user interface. It could be a useful option if you've got no more softbanks because the red faction stole them all. There's also an option whether or not to allow links under fields in the plan. It could be useful to expose that, but you'd also have to add code to take into account the 500 meter limit for that kind of link. Those are just a couple of ideas for how this could be improved. If you've got more ideas, put them in the comments. Put them in the comments. You never know who's going to take up your ideas and put them into a better version of this plugin. There are some great plugin programmers out there, much better programmers than me. And if you are one of those programmers, look in the comments for people's ideas and tell me when you publish your updated version of the plugin so I can put links to them in the description so everyone can use them. Thank you so much for watching. And if you've subscribed to this channel, thank you so much. Show me the fields you make. Show me the fields you make so that I can see, because it's just so exciting.